This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network. Here are your hosts, Sean Green and Ryan Kramer. I can't believe we're letting these guys on my network.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Sack of the Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Happy Friday, Sean.
TGIF. It is it was electric in the beginning when Indiana got a pick six to start this game off, and then it's the Indiana fans are cheering. I saw a lot of the Oregon Duck fans walking around. It was cleared out pretty quick.
I'm just glad the SEC didn't make it to the championship because we might have a player safety issue here.
Really? What's going on here, Kramer? I mean, again, I was on Indiana. If you listen to the podcast, laying the 3.5. Even my dog for the semifinal was the alt on Indiana laying 13.5. Normally I'm worried about jinxing stuff, but this is a bloodbath right now.
There was an interview coming out of the first quarter with Signetti where he was not happy about the fact that they didn't line up correctly on a couple of those plays in the 75-yard drive for Moore, the second drive of the game. And they've just dominated ever since. He had this just glare and game over. I mean, I don't know what this says about the rest of college football.
Yeah.
Bad coaching. Coaching's hard.
Yeah. And hey, there is, we're only 7 minutes left in the third. They're up 27. I get it. It's not over yet.
And you know what? Herb Street and all these mainstream guys are now talking about team building and player development. What happened to your 5-star argument where you can't have these guys on the same field? It is unreal how quick they're like politicians.
Yeah.
Whatever the flavor of the month is, they're in on it. So, congrats to Italian American of the Year, Kurt Signetti.
Great year to be Kurt Signetti. Kramer, let's just fast forward to the draft. Do the Raiders take Mendoza here, number 1 overall?
Well, per the cab driver, the Uber driver we came over with last trip out to Vegas, please no.
He did not win Mendoza, but
he's going to, here's what I would imagine. He won't have to do any of the skill stuff, the throwing, any of that stuff. And he's going to crush the interviews.
Yeah.
He's going to crush he's smart. He's smarter than all the coaches he's going to be interviewing with. He's got a degree. 3 years it took him to get a degree from Berkeley. How many NFL head coaches you think could get a degree from Berkeley in 6 years?
There you go.
I just think his LinkedIn, it's going to be, he's so impressive. So I think that's the thing that keeps him propped up.
I think a guy like Tom Brady, if he's involved in the process at all, he's going to love Mendoza, right?
I think so, right? Similar kind of story, like went to a program, worked hard, got a starting job, worked hard, transferred to another program, worked hard, Heisman.
And I don't know if it should be held against him, but like this to me is Kurt Signetti's masterpiece, right? Like this team is, to me, it's like Kurt Signetti. And I guess not trying to take anything away from Mendoza. He's balling out, but also it's just like, I mean, look at this game. Dudes are wide open. It's almost a little too easy for him.
Yeah, I mean, they got to the playoff with a quarterback with much less caliber than Mendoza last year. You have to tip the cap to both coaching and just, again, I think in a time where you're bringing in transfers and development is key, you're just the good coaches are going to rise to the top. And it shows what happens to the programs that just pay for the best players but don't coach them well.
Yeah.
And, it kind of a tip of the hat to Dan Lanning, although they're getting rolled right now because I think he does the same thing out there. Yeah, I'd say I'd be... Now, I know there's not just Todd McShay who would put Moore in the top spot. This is a bad look for him, all in all. Big moment. So I don't know if Dante Moore stays near the top of the draft. We'll see, because he's the guy, I think, with his arm talent. We'll see, like, coaches get excited after the workouts.
Yeah, listener slid into my DMs. He said Chambliss goes number 1 overall, 22-1. Any shot?
No.
As much as a guy I like a long shot, especially this far out for the NFL draft, tough to play that right now.
Again, he didn't exactly put up Jackson Dart numbers at Ole Miss. And I think he's just undersized. I think he's a little undersized.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit less desirable in the arm talent. I think he's just a fun player.
Yeah.
I don't know what his NFL career holds, but he's certainly a fun player.
Certainly a fun player. We got an awesome show for you. It's obviously NFL playoff super wild card weekend. We're going to be talking Super Bowl exactas, of course, first, any, and many. red hot handicapper, Ryan Kramer, going to give out some first TD winners. Knock on wood. We will be talking about the College Football National Championship. Early look there with Colby Dant. Sports betting blackjack, our paper ticket parlays. Just a jam-packed show. And, of course, CJ Sullivan, NFL ladders, little playoff leader futures, even a pleaser segment as well. They got the pleaser cards printed out here at Circa. And if you're wondering, hey, normally our buddy Chris Wilberding, aka Wilbo, aka Big Balls, is here. He couldn't make it because they are doing the big check ceremony for all the season-long winners, Circa Million, Grandissimo, and you can actually catch that live. They are streaming it live over on VSIN, on VSIN's X page at VSIN Live, and over on the VSIN YouTube page. So if you want to flip over there, maybe check in over there, check those guys out as well. So a lot going on here, Ryan, downtown Circa. It's awesome.
Well, it's too. I mean, it would have been tough had we came in first. Do we do the show or do we get our big check?
I think we would have been able to figure it out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe host it from the event.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
We should remind Derek, like, hey, you got to schedule the check ceremony a little earlier so we can do that and the show.
I'm picturing like basketball style. You're crammed in a little sideline booth, just calling the event.
Yeah. So
come into the stage.
Check in on that live over on the YouTube VSIN page. Kramer, I mean, we're talking playoffs, and I thought it would be fun to go back and look, see what we got right, see what we got wrong. We put out a playoff bracket, of course, with our how we thought it would exactly shake out for the NFL playoffs. We got my graphic here. We can pull that up. Of course, I had, I had the Philadelphia Eagles over the Denver Broncos, which I do have that exact. I played it before the year. That was 125 to 1. I think it's down to like 40 to 1 right now. Broncos are the number one seed. Broncos are a number one seed that like no one's talking about. No one's excited about the Broncos.
I'd argue both one seeds are getting a little bit of the same treatment.
Yeah. A couple of misses for me. I did put the Ravens in the playoffs. Obviously, they didn't get in. Chiefs, they didn't get in. Bengals, they didn't get in. I did have the Steelers in, did have the Bills in, did have the Texans in. I do have the Steelers winning a playoff game, which I do like their chances to move on to the divisional round. So still got a chance to get 2 of the 4 divisional teams right. And I had the Broncos as the number one seed. Very, very crazy take by me. On the NFC side, I had the Eagles playing the Packers, 1 seed versus the 7 seed. Eagles are not the 1 seed, but they're the 3 seed. If they do end up squaring off against the Packers, they would be hosting that game. Bucks did not get in. I had them getting in. I also had the Falcons getting in. In my defense, the Falcons and Bucks did tie for the most wins in the NFC South. Didn't get in. I did have the. That's a nice little flex.
They kind of were in, right? If you knock someone out after they've finished their season, it's kind of like getting into the playoffs.
They should put them in. I had the Lions getting in. Obviously, did not. And then I did have the Bears getting in and the 49ers. So right on those, and didn't have them moving on, which kind of aligns with what I like as far as this week. Kramer, let's take a look over at your playoff
shorter
bracket.
segment, shorter portion of the segment. All that matters is Jacksonville.
Yes.
Look at that prediction.
On the Jags.
Look at that prediction. Somehow I was wise enough to not make them the 1 seed as well. So yeah, they that was right. Everything else was wrong. Chargers did make it in my version, and the NFC side, I mean, not much to write home about. We're drawing pretty
Giants
dead.
are not going to make it to the divisional round.
I don't think the Bucks are going to make the champ. My Bucks Jags exacta did die on the final day of the season.
Yeah.
And shout out to Dan Campbell for being a loser and not knowing how to call plays.
You got the Packers in there, the 49ers in there.
That was an accident.
Now, Ryan, there is your Jacksonville Jaguars, who I do like.
That's all that
this
matters.
Week. We'll be breaking all the games down as we pick every NFL game against the spread. We're going to keep that tradition alive.
Get this gross bracket off the screen. No one needs to see
it. Even when we came in, when we were, we do the old line change here with humans. We can get a little pulse on what humans likes. Talking to humans. And he asked, who do we like? You say the Jags. And he's like, everyone I've talked to likes the Jags. Are you worried, Ryan? Even some mainstream bigger outlets kind of gravitating towards the Jags. Are you worried there's too much Jag love out there?
I think a lot of people are seeing finally what I saw at the beginning of the season. I think this is a tremendously hot team, so it makes sense that people would gravitate.
Are you talking about Trevor Lawrence and his hair, or just the way they've won 8 in a row?
There's a lot of things that are attractive about the Jacksonville Jaguars. The tone of the defensive coordinator, Trevor Lawrence, and his beautiful quarterback play and hair. Yeah, I mean, I think very simply put, the Bills are one of the more flawed teams in the postseason who, if not for Josh Allen, this is not a good team at all. And the Jags, again, we had this debate on the podcast, are the Jags potentially the best defense or second best to the Texans in the conference? They're playing lights out on that side of the ball. They're stopping the run, which is going to be difficult for the Bills. And then schematically, they're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be able to move the ball. Oh, and by the way, humid, 70 degrees.
Yeah.
It's not a thermometer game, but we're getting a team coming from the north down to the south. We always think about the other way around. I just think it's a smash spot for the Jags. So no, I'm not worried. In fact, I played -4.5 here. I played -13.5, inspired by your Indiana play on the digital streets. Yeah, I'm going to look pretty silly if it doesn't work, but I'm all in. Sometimes you got to push the chips.
Yeah, and again, look at all these quarterbacks in the playoffs. Not a lot of experience. Of course, Aaron Rodgers, bunch of games started. Jalen Hurts, most experienced quarterbacks in the playoffs. Hey, we're going to break down every game. We're going to talk picks, props. It is the NFL playoffs, and we're doing it live here. Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN. Sean Second the Money Green, Ryan Real Money Kramer. When we return, breaking down the first 2 games. Stay tuned.
You're here because you want an edge. That's what separates listeners from winners. But let's be real, mindset alone doesn't get bets home. Pros win because they've got the tools, the data, and the discipline. And now so can you. VSIN Pro gives you access to the same real-time insights the sharps use. No secrets, no fluff, just actionable info that moves markets. Tap the link and see why serious bettors are turning knowledge into profit with VSIN Pro.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live. Sean Second the Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Hello, Sean. Good turnout from Indiana, both in the stadium and at the Circus Sports.
Yeah, no, again, I was getting in my paper ticket parlay, and the noise was like rattled me from that first pick six. And again, the game is not over. I mean, this isn't a dome. Oregon has been able to move the ball. They're now at the 40 here with 2 minutes left in the third. They're down 27. Trying to make a case. I did like Dan Lanning going for 2. Need a lot of points. Better start stacking them now.
Yeah, no, playing to win the game. That's Dan Lanning.
Of course, we're going to talk College Football National Championship and the Super Bowl. If you're looking to get in on the action, you can over at Profit X, the #1 sports prediction market. They got some awesome futures pricing available in 40 plus states. Download Profit X today and use that promo code VSIN, and you get the 20% purchase match. Download Profit X today and start experience the future of winning. That's Profit X, promo code VSIN to get started today.
All right, Sean, let's talk wild card weekend as the NFL refers to it. But as we refer to it, super wild card week. I'm telling you, they're just going to, when the 8th team comes, they're going to go back to calling it super wild card weekend just to trick our minds again. First game on the weekend. We're back. We're on the East Coast. We're in Carolina. Cam Newton will be in the house. They're calling all the big dogs back in. And as they host the Rams, Rams got all the way up to 11. It's now back to -10.5 here at the Circa. 46 is the total. We did a review of the worst 10 teams in DVOA history to make the playoffs. The Carolina, of course, is the 10th. And basically the lesson that we took from that is that these teams that are really bad shouldn't be in the playoffs. We have to change the rules. Well, there's been the other 9, 5-1 outright, Sean, and the other 4 did not cover the spread. So I think the lesson here is you take Carolina on the money line or you lay the Rams. No way. I'm just going to take the points, play the math, as the nerds would say, and hope the rain kind of mucks this up a little bit, drives it to a lower scoring game, and we get a little bit of that spunkiness from the Carolina defensive line, which I think was kind of the difference in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, let's just start with this Panthers team. They've been awesome off a loss all season. Why would this ATS? Why would this not continue? 8-0 ATS off a loss. This is when this Panthers team thrives, and you kind of throw in the intangibles of the weather. They have the extra day of rest. Rams are, flying from the West Coast to the East Coast, and you highlighted it, Ryan, with the DVOA, but the Panthers had a negative 69 point differential this season. Nice. 23rd in the NFL. The only playoff teams with lower point differential: 2004 Rams, won outright. 2011 Broncos, the Tebow team, won outright. 2010 Seahawks, Beastquake game, won outright. Each of the previous, they all won. There is a formula here of these historic home dogs showing up in the playoffs, and this is historic. I think at 10.5, 11, certainly at 11, that is the biggest home dog ever in NFL history. I mean, sometimes I could be accused, you can call me a square if you want, but historic home dog in the NFL, I'm always going to be on the dog here. And I think the Rams, this Rams team, I don't know, man. I worry their defense. I know they're getting Quentin Lake back, which certainly should help the pass defense a little bit, but man, this Panthers team can hang around. All the EPA, your DVOA does not look good for the Panthers, but that's why they're getting 11 points, 10.5 points at home. And this is just when this is when these playoff dogs show up. I understand the angle of a quarterback and head coach not having experience, but you look at those stats, they haven't been great straight up, but they have done well, or at least okay. Quarterbacks making their first start, ATS. Obviously, Stafford, pretty experienced there in the playoffs overall. But, man, I would, especially when you throw in this weather, this is the biggest game in Panthers history in a long time. Isn't the place going to be rocking?
It is, again, the Cam Newton's in the house. They're doing it all the way. And I think this is I'm going to take the points. 59% of the bets, but only 11% of the handle on the Rams here at the Circus. So the Sharps coming in with their big bets on the Panthers. Yeah, I think anytime you can get an opportunity where I'd imagine this is one of those games where by the time we get to kick on Saturday, I would imagine that the average guy who's just betting on every playoff game is like, oh yeah, give me the Rams. And so I think there's also a little bit of this. They're a gross dog. They're not going to become a cat with fleas, metaphorically speaking. So I guess we're both going to do the dance. We're going to take the garbage.
Well, and I think Ted McMillan, I think he could be the X factor. We saw what Michael Wilson did against this Rams secondary. And then on the other side, the Rams had just absolutely no defense. The Cardinals had absolutely no defense to slow down the Rams. And Michael Wilson and Jacoby Brissett, were kind of almost close to backdooring that. Now you're outdoors on the East Coast. I just would be surprised if the Rams completely destroy this Panthers team. I get it. Hey, the revenge game, they're going to lock in, but I mean, the Rams lost outright as 9.5 point road favorites. What has changed so dramatically with either one of these teams that now the Panthers are getting an extra point?
It's a playoff game.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest, because you could at least talk to me about a little bit of a letdown spot there in the regular season.
Yeah, but they weren't necessarily looking ahead like they had.
No, of course not. But I think here's what I would say: if the Rams put up 31 points again, I'm a little worried about the Panthers' ability to keep pace.
Okay.
I think it's going to need to be a little bit of a lower scoring game.
But don't you think a rainy, windy day we can get some of these turnovers? And Stafford, as much as I do think he deserves to be the MVP, if you want to debate, fine. I really don't have a strong take, but I would probably end up giving it to Stafford. Look at Stafford in some of these, he threw 3 interceptions on the road against the Falcons, had a pretty good game against Seattle, but certainly missed some throws there late at Arizona. He's had some interceptions here in the second half of the season, including 2 against this Panthers team, 1 for a pick 6.
Gunslinger. That's what they call those guys.
Well, yeah, but I think the Rams might catch a couple strays here. So yeah, give me the Panthers plus the points.
Yeah, and tune in to the old X feed at Kramer Centric. First touchdown, although I'm going to give out some a little later, but first touchdown card will be released. I would say if you're making me fill out a confidence pool, this game is least confidence. Green Bay, Chicago, the nightcap. We got a little night kick in Soldier Field. Third game between the Packers and Bears. Only the third time that's happened in history, and the Bears are 1.5 point home dogs. I think this Bears team is one that has been pointed to all season as being a little fugazi. But now we sit here, Sean, with 73% of the bets and 79% of the handle here at the Circa on the Bears. Number hasn't really budged. So what does that make? What do you make all of that? Because to me, there's a huge advantage for the Packers here on the offensive side of the ball. And I wonder if the Bears offense themselves is going to be able to stay clean and get the turnover they've been relying, although it is Jordan Love. So I'm curious on your take here, Sean, because seeing that almost 80% of the bets have come in on the Bears here at Circa is a little surprising to me.
Yeah, two things I think injury-wise that get me on the Packers here. One, getting their tackle back, Zach Tom. I think that's going to be huge. Healthy Jacobs. I think they're going to be able to run the ball here against the Bears a little bit. And you mentioned it, Ryan, this Bears team that relies on turnovers. CJ, a guy who is out with a concussion, who has a nose for the ball, is good at generating turnovers. I think him not being out there for the Bears is a big difference. The receiver core is still pretty banged up for the Bears, and you have a head coach and quarterback with 0 playoff starts combined, whereas you get, the experience of Jordan Love and LaFleur there. Ben Johnson, going out of his way to try and start stuff with Matt LaFleur. We play our guys. We don't rest our starters. Meanwhile, I prefer rest if you're the Packers. They just played a somewhat physical game here against the Lions. And yeah, I know they're at home here, but the Packers kind of own this team historically. 21-4 straight up run with one of their wins, that crazy game where they needed the Malik Willis to drop the fumble, the onside kick recovery.
Yeah.
I just think that magic that the Bears had where they were winning all these games where they were down with 2 minutes left, I think that's kind of run out for them. So I do like the more experienced Packers team here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I told you this earlier in the week in the office. I'm not a big Jordan Love guy. I could still see him getting a little loose with the football and throwing a pick. Although with the wind situation and the weather situation, if both teams are limited and it becomes a run-on-run game, I love the Packers even more. You mentioned Josh Jacobs. I just got down on his anytime. I'm going to be playing his 2 touchdowns. I think he certainly is in for a big game. As you remember, he kind of was banged up. They rested him a bit, and he's talked about it this week. He feels great, ready to go. So Packers lay the points. Sorry, Bears fans. I didn't know wild bears get fleas. They might have some fleas.
You think they are a public dog here, right?
Every source of data that does betting splits has the Bears heavily the side with the tickets, and yet the line's not moving, Sean.
Maybe telling me something there, Ryan. The line's talking to you. Yeah, I'm all over the Packers. Give me the Packers on the money line. The 1.5 does scare me a little bit. I will take the money line. Kramer officially on the Packers.
Packers lay the points. Not scared.
Hey, when we return, first any and many, our favorite touchdown bets for Super Wild Card Weekend.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Second Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Well, Sean, I think, can we call Oregon officially dead?
I don't.
Ducks ready for roast?
I'm not one to cash my tickets before they hatch, if you will.
Okay.
But feeling pretty good. Hey, if you want to get in on the action, you got to do it over at Boomer Sportsbook, Nevada's newest sportsbook, and of course, new sportsbook. Great opportunity here. Use code VISA when you sign up at Boomer's mobile account, and they'll match your first deposit up to $250 in bonus bets. Let's go, baby. BetWithBoomer.com. Use that promo code VSIN250 and they'll match your first deposit up to $250 in bonus bets, and they get you minus 105 all pro football spreads. Must be 21. T's and C's apply. Bet responsibly. Kramer, let's talk a little TDs.
While you were talking about boomers, Oregon got a punt blocked. So it's just all three phases.
Well, and again, it probably doesn't make a difference, but every single ball is bouncing Indiana's way.
Yeah.
Those fumbles could have probably changed the game. But when Mendoza, the ball bounces right back into his hand, and then the other one when he was driving into the red zone and fumbled, and a guy felt like everything is kind of bouncing the right way.
Your 13 and a half might be fortunate for I think the -3, 3.5, 4 has been
probably
safe.
Didn't swing it, but certainly helped with some of the alt lines. Kramer, you are the first touchdown savant. A lot of pressure here. Let's keep the heater alive. Let's start with your first touchdown.
And shout out to the Circa. Most of the first touchdowns open for the weekend. The one that's not open yet is this one. Jags Bills. You know I was going to come with some fire, Jags hot tub, Jagwagon action. Tim Patrick is 100-1, Sean.
Wow.
Now, Tim Patrick does not run he's not leading the team in snaps. He's not leading the teams in routes run, but he is a big receiver, and they do deploy him in the red zone. And when you take a look at the Bills over the past couple weeks, or even really the back half of the season, they've been giving up touchdowns to big receivers. T. Higgins, Jaden Higgins on the Texans,
Mac
Hollins on the Patriots had a nice game. I see Tim Patrick is that same guy. He's been good to us in the past with some touchdown magic.
We hit a nice 2 touchdown for him when he was on the Lions.
And the shocking thing to me was he's actually only behind Myers and Washington in terms of red zone opportunities in the pass game. That was really shocking to me. So we're going to take Tim Patrick at 100-1 first touchdown. You should know his anytime is 11-1. If you're into that kind of thing, shout out to Tim Patrick. Let's go, Jags.
Fun sprinkle for sure. And he's that prototypical guy, crafty veteran, knows where to be in the red zone, and a giant frame. So crazy that's 100-1 there over on the blue book, right?
Yeah, get the tape measure out for that size frame.
Mine feels kind of puny in comparison, but I love his matchup here this week. And the Eagles have been using him a ton. Almost, I feel like to some degree, the Dallas Goedert stuff has somewhat replaced the tush push as kind of the go-to play here for the Eagles. They have that shovel play. They have these little boot action stuff off of Dallas Goedert. 11 receiving touchdowns for Dallas Goedert this season, leading the team, and only one behind Devonta Smith for the entire league. So going up against the 49ers team who's allowed 10 touchdowns to the tight end, that almost leads the league as well. So you have one of the league leaders in touchdown catches going up against this 49ers team, which is decimated at linebacker. They're 3 starting linebackers, or whatever with the nickel. None of those guys were on the roster in November as of November 26th. So they are incredibly thin on the defensive side to begin with due to injuries, but especially at the linebacker position. Goddard, 11 receiving touchdowns for the Eagles. A.J. Brown's closest to him was 7. So they clearly like to get him going in the red zone. 10-1 first touchdown. I like his anytime. I think you can find like a 190 on that. His 2 touchdown. I think they're all good, but would not be surprised if they go to Dallas Goedert early and often. So give me Dallas Goedert 10-1.
I will be rooting against you if the ball comes down to the 1 yard line. Going to need Jalen Hurts to get that.
Well, you want first? Are you on Jalen Hurts' first touchdown?
No, all of it.
They might score more than 1 touchdown.
All of it. I will have Jalen Hurts parlayed in some first touchdown activity. There's just going to be a lot going on. All right, anytime.
Let's go.
Did you? And I mentioned it because the Eagles game is a great quarterback anytime touchdown game, and I felt like we shouldn't even put it on the card because it's already obviously on the card, but Jalen Hurts is plus 125 on the anytime market. But the quarterback on the other side, Brock Purdy, he is going to be under duress in this game. I think in general, the Eagles defense are going to give them some fits on the back end as well. And for that reason, Brock Purdy's going to have to use his legs. And I was shocked to find out that the Eagles are only behind the Cowboys in terms of rushing touchdowns to the quarterback. On the season, 7 touchdowns they've given up this year, the Eagles. So Brock Purdy's anytime is plus 650, Sean. I know he's not necessarily looking for the end zone all the time, but in some of these gotta have it games, he has. I was surprised he didn't do more running against the Seahawks. And I think it's going to be a similar kind of game. So plus 650, Brock Purdy finds the end zone. Eagles still win by margin.
My model doesn't have any 49ers touchdowns.
Zero 49er touchdowns.
Yeah, go Birds.
Okay.
Best of luck with that. Psych.
Okay.
For my anytime touchdown, and this is a guy this is a classic Saginaw's play, going back and forth, doing some deep research. I like Luke Musgrave. I thought he was an interesting prospect coming in. Then clearly the Packers fell in love with Tucker Kraft, who was having an awesome season, blew out his knee, unfortunately was done for the year. He was like a huge part of their passing offense. I thought Luke Musgrave would step up. He really hasn't. I don't, whatever it is, they're not in love with Luke Musgrave. But the other tight end that's kind of involved is Josh Weil. And his anytime is 9-1. If you remember in that Bears game, the last time they played, he had a 21-yard catch against them. He's got solid route participation. Bears aren't incredible against the tight end. And again, going back to CJGJ, I'm telling you, in a big spot, you're going to miss a veteran presence like CJGJ. And Josh Weil at 9-1 is a fun play for me in the anytime market. So give me Josh Weil.
It's a classic backup who's out there all the time because he blocks well.
Yes, let's go.
All right, 2 touchdowns. Like the idea of the Chargers being able to move the ball through the air against the Patriots defense. And when you dive in, what you would find is that the Patriots are actually 31st in DVOA, 30th in EPA per play to wide receiver ones. Quentin Johnston is that wide receiver one. And then you zoom into the Chargers and you find out that over the last 7 weeks of the season, Quentin Johnston is number 1 in red zone opportunities for them. He's 20-1 on the 2 touchdowns. I love the matchup. I love all of his props. I think receiving yards are in play here. I think you can ladder him up. You can do this all sorts of fun ways. But 20-1 for Quentin Johnston to have a 2 touchdown game, just like he did to open the season, Sean, in the playoffs to help the Chargers advance here against the Patriots. His anytime's plus 250 as well.
You know, and he's an interesting cat, right? Because he was someone that was like, oh my God, he's a total bust. And then Harbaugh comes and our buddy Decker, who's a huge Chargers fan, goes, that's all it took was someone to believe in him. And it seems like it does seem like his struggles were clearly mental. It was a lot of drops. Like, he's a very athletic guy, and now he seems to have some good chemistry with Herbert, and it's certainly going to have some opportunities. It's
very logical. If someone says, hey, we trust your abilities, we like you, go play, you're maybe going to be a little looser, not so tight.
For me, in the 2 touchdown market, let's go to the Pats workhorse. Give me Hunter Henry, 2 touchdowns, 14-1. He's 3rd in the NFL in tight end red zone targets, 7 touchdowns. Again, I'm taking him and Goddard because they lead the team in receiving touchdowns. Oh, it's not rocket science, but I think they're both going to get in the end zone. Give me a Hunter Henry to get it 2. Make it 2, Utah. Chargers 25th in DVOA versus the tight end, which is interesting, Ryan, because you look at tight end yards, they're actually okay. But I think Hunter Henry can get in the end zone, and Drake May, young quarterback, they like to use, they like some boot action stuff with Drake May, which I feel like always helps the quarterback. So if Drake's going to be moving near the goal line, I think Hunter Henry's going to be the guy he's looking to throw to. So Hunter Henry, 2 touchdowns, 14-1.
Yeah, he's also kind of there. I mean, I know Diggs is there, but outside of Diggs, he's kind of the primary. And also he doesn't drop anything.
No, very, very reliable target. And Sean Boutte, he popped up on the injury report. I don't know if you saw that, Ryan. It was a late ad with a hamstring injury.
We got a sore booty.
Good news for my Efton Chisholm, 100-1 first touchdown. If you're looking for a true D-gen play, I think any time for Efton Chisholm, the 3rd, that is a fun one. Look him up. At least take his over a half catch. The guy is getting a catch.
His name is very weird, but when you add the 3rd to the end, it's like, okay.
Sounds like
I'm in.
He sounds like a character from Clue or something.
Yeah, he was a lord up in Yorkshire in the 1700s.
He's going to dominate some surfs on Sunday. Hey, when we return, Super Bowl exactas. That's right. All that much more. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Second Money Green with our partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Well, my favorite part of watching this Indiana team is when they cut to the sideline, Cignetti has the same look. Never satisfied.
So angry.
Mission not done.
Nah, they're up 49-15. So now I feel a little more comfortable, Ryan.
Okay.
Now I feel like, all right, we're going to be able to pull this out. So, yeah, I mean, what do you think they opened this number at? Indiana, Miami.
Doesn't it have to be something like 3 again? Indiana by 3.
Indiana, Miami?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking it's going to be much higher.
Okay.
No, I mean, but again,
I think Miami has vaulted up the power. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe it's more like 6.
No, I mean, yeah. I guess how much did they upgrade him off that?
The game's
win over
in
Miami.
Miami. It's a home game for Miami.
That is true. I wasn't when my instant thought. I wasn't factoring in the home field.
Fun fact: they get a $3 million travel budget for the national championship game.
Oh man,
Michael Irvin's going to have a good night.
That's going to Michael Irvin's after party. Hey, of course, heading to the new year with a smarter betting strategy powered by VSIN Pro. Love me some VSIN Pro, Ryan. We use it all the time here over on the Sports Gambling Podcast. Opta AI, great for props, the betting splits, and of course, matchup analysis, 24/7 video, the VSIN Watch app. Expert picks. The guides are great. Head over to VSIN.com/subscribe. Intro offer for $9.99. Are you out of your mind? Or 50% off the annual plan. Get started today. VSIN.com/subscribe. Kramer?
Well, Sean, great time of the year because we can, they offer all sorts of fun things to wager on.
Yeah.
Now, the exactas are open all year long. But it does seem, I don't know if it seems safer or just a fun thing to relook at once. Although I was poking my head in a couple weeks ago. I got some bad numbers, but it's a fun thing to poke your head in because now we have a fixed set of teams. We know who's playing who. We know the paths. We've all done our brackets and figured out what we like. So perhaps we should now. I went a little out of control here.
Yeah, I saw your sheet of exactas.
I went to the window and just got.
Why don't we bring up your graphic here, Ryan?
Just got overwhelmed.
You'll never guess what team Ryan's leading into.
Oh well,
on the AFC. Are you gonna get a Jags jersey, Ryan? I know, of course, when Kyle Juszczyk won you all that money for hitting first catch in the Super Bowl, you got a Kyle Juszczyk helmet. What Jags merch are you gonna get if the Jags bring this home?
So the obvious choice is a signed Trevor Lawrence mini helmet, but the less obvious choice is a signed Liam Cohen mini helmet. No one's going to want that.
Does he do autographs?
Maybe
feels like he's too locked in.
Whatever Liam Cohen signs, I want one of those.
Okay.
If especially if he wins Coach of the Year. With shout out to Liam Cohen, I believe he's the Coach of the Year. But yeah, like all these I basically just
walk us through all your exactas. Right?
Here's the logic. I wanted to play the Jags with every NFC team that I think realistically can make a run here. So starting at the top, Seahawks, Jags over Seahawks is 43-1.
Okay.
I scratched the 2 seed Bears. I don't think they have a shot to make it.
Really?
Go to the 3 seed, Eagles, Jags over Eagles, 96-1. Which not on the graphic, but I may take the other side of that just so I'm not in a pit of misery if Sean's celebrating a Super Bowl again over the Jags. Then we go to the 4 seed. Scratch it. Panthers don't have a chance. Get them out of here. 5 seed Rams, 56-1 for the Jags to beat the Rams. The 6 seed, the 5 seed was the 49ers, actually 225-1. So I'm playing both sides of the Eagles-Niners game. I do kind of tend to believe with mainstream media that the winner of that team certainly could go on a run. Then, as I mentioned, the 6 seed Rams, 56-1. The 7 seed Packers, 195-1. The reason for playing them, I don't love the Packers going on a deep run, but I do think they're going to win the first game. And so the value at 195-1 was hard to pass up. Now, off the record, I'll be playing the inverse of the Eagles and Niners versions. So we'll call it I don't want to call it insurance, but I will have a little bit of money going against my Jags if they make it to the Super Bowl. So,
all right. Yeah, I mean, so it will be hilarious if somehow the Jags beat the Panthers. But
for context, it's 5-1 for them to win the conference, the Jags.
Yeah.
So doing the math, it seemed like a better path for me to have more fun long shot exactas.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only counter is what if the Jags lose to the Bills, but
then I lose all those bets, Sean. Thanks for pointing that out.
Well, and the same applies to my exactas. I already have Eagles over Broncos. Broncos are the 1 seed. And again, we keep coming back to the Broncos. I'm not staying away from my Broncos, shying off my Broncos to win the AFC. I think they figure out how to win ugly in a wide open AFC. And the Indiana just scored another touchdown. They're already dead. Stop. They're already dead, Signetti.
He's smiling.
He almost cracked a smile here. So I already have Eagles over Broncos at 125-1. So I don't need to add that. They're the 1 seed. I'll go to the 2 seed, the Pats. Now, certainly what I'm a little nervous about the Pats making it on a run is that Drake May has never started a playoff game. Obviously, he's looked pretty good, but it's tough to go on a run here if you've never won a playoff game, Ryan. And I sent you a stat here of quarterbacks in their playoff debut who won more than 2 playoff games. It's Jaden Daniels last year, or he won 2. Yeah. Brock Purdy in 22, he won 2. And Mark Sanchez in 2009 won 2 games.
Who can forget that run?
Well, but I could see in the same way what Mark Sanchez did. I can kind of see Bo Nix going on a similar, carried by his defense, does enough, makes a couple big plays, gets to the Super Bowl, ultimately doesn't get it done. Again, I already have that. And then Eagles over Steelers, 185-1. What's different about this Steelers team from previous Steelers teams, and I know they're on an ice cold streak here, 6 games, haven't won outright or covered. It's been bad. It's Tomlin. Here's where they have the edge. 1, they won the division, so they start with a home playoff game. 2, they have the most playoff experience at the quarterback position by a wide margin. Again,
if you add up all the other quarterbacks, they have less experience than Aaron Rodgers.
I think so, or at least it's close, because I know Hurts has 6 games, and then Hurts has 9.
9 games.
9. He's won 6, and then how many does Aaron Rodgers have? I was just maybe he has 12. I think he has 12 playoff wins.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up.
Keep talking.
But again, Aaron Rodgers with this team getting DK Metcalf back. They have TJ Watt. Maybe some of these lower seeds end up moving on in the AFC. Of teams that could go into Denver and shock the world, I think it might be the Steelers. So I feel like I have myself covered here a little bit with the 1, 2, and 4 seed with the Steelers. So yeah, give me the Eagles over the Pats. That's 51-1, and then Eagles over the Steelers, 185-1.
Stafford has 10 games. Hurts has 9.
Oh, maybe it was playoff
Aaron
wins.
Rodgers has 22.
22, but 12 wins. So the graphic I was looking at, apologies, was wins.
Still,
but yeah,
adding up Stafford and Hurts, Rodgers still has more games played.
Yeah, and you look at these, and they have an experienced quarterback. I think Tomlin has one last run in him at some point, and maybe he's a little motivated with his mortal enemy Harbaugh getting the can. TJ Watt, that defense has potential.
Tomlin better coach for his own job. It sounds like he's not completely, although it does sound like he's going to be safe. I was just watching Aaron Rodgers in a conference championship game. If you remember, the Packers were 15-1.
Yeah.
And old Eli came to town, hit the Hail Mary before the half, shredded their defense.
Well, I was talking to Chris Massero there on X, very sharp handicapper. He's on the Friday Football Challenge. Chop it up with him a bunch.
Wish we had a chance to compete with him.
Yeah, well, maybe one day we'll get the invite. We got to talk to humans. I mean, Brian, the one, it does feel kind of crazy that Aaron Rodgers only has 1 Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah. Do you blame that on
one
Aaron
Super Bowl appearance? In my head, I'm like, he was there twice, and then I was doing the math. I'm like, no,
Eli gets great credit for defeating an undefeated Tom Brady, but that 15-1 Packers team was very good, and that team should have won a Super. I think this is where Mike. You look at Mike McCarthy's record. I hate to derail to coaching search stuff, but he was good. He had a lot of wins, but he underperformed that team with Aaron Rodgers repeatedly. To your point, the fact that they only had one Super Bowl seems
McCarthy. He's the Lamar Jackson of head coaches. Maybe he ends up in Baltimore.
No, I think he, so slightly different physique, but maybe same eating patterns as we saw Lamar.
No, but he's great win-loss in the regular season.
Yeah,
but kind of hits the wall late there.
Yeah, just not good. Not good in the postseason.
Not good in the postseason. You know who's great in the postseason? The laddie daddy, CJ Sullivan, bringing some ladders that are going to rock your world here in the wild card playoffs. Stay tuned. Sports Gamble Podcast live here on VSIN.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network. Here are your hosts, Sean Green and Ryan Kramer. I can't believe we're letting these guys on my network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Second Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. Happy Friday, Kramer. Happy Saturday to Nova Scotia.
That's confusing. You wished 2 different days to do to 2 different people.
Well, you're enjoying Friday. Our good buddies in Nova Scotia are enjoying Saturday already.
So maybe you say happy Friday to me, and I say happy. I say happy Saturday to Nova Scotia.
Well, you know what makes a great Saturday? Some Omaha Steaks. That's right. Football meets flavor with VSIN and Omaha Steaks, the official sponsor of tailgating. Oh, look at these juicy chicken wings I got up on the screen. Right now, when you spend $129, you get 2 pounds of fully cooked chicken wings. Perfect for any party, for a big game, a tailgate, plus 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com/VSIN. So you get the 2 pounds of fully cooked wings plus 50% off at omahasteaks.com/VSIN. That's omahasteaks.com/VSIN. Minimum purchase required. See site for details. Joining us on the line, the man, the myth, the legend, a fellow Jag fan, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line, CJ Sullivan. CJ, what's happening?
Hey, fellas, what's up there, guys? And yes, congratulations to your Jags, Kramer.
Thank you.
I mean, it's been a great time for us, us Jag fans, as it's come to fruition. But I'm also a Philly fan, as you know that, Sean. So we're playing both in the same day, and actually on the show, on Sports Gaming Podcast, I remember you questioned my loyalty. You said, "Who would I be happier with?"
Yes, I did.
If they won the Super Bowl, and questioning my Philly fandom. And who, I would ask you, which one of us is going to be boots on the ground at the link on Sunday?
That's true.
I'm flying to Philadelphia. This is the get up right now. And I live in Los Angeles. I realize the cold blood has kind of left me. So I'm trying to prep myself up, and get myself, ready for the cold weather out there. Cause you get a little soft out here in California, but I went to go buy some thermals. I don't know if they're going to do the trick. They're LA thermals, they're not, they're more, there they are right there. If you could show
it even says basic on there. I don't know. Are you going to survive this blink tailgate in those basic thermals, CJ?
Right. They had one pair of Carhartts, but they were yoga pants. And I'm like, I don't think this is going to help at all. But yeah, they laughed in my face when I asked thermal. So we'll see. We'll get out there, and I'm sure it'll come back to me.
He's got the headband, the Flyers headband, the Eagles gloves ready to throw down. No, the link is going to be rocking come Sunday. CJ, never question your loyalty, although I do see some potential Jag ladders on here. But we'll start with that Jag game. I see you got a ladder, but not for your Jags. What's your first ladder here?
Well, this is, if you think about it deeply, it is a pro Jags ladder, because the Jaguars, of course, will be handling this game, and they'll be in control, game script the entire way. Buffalo's going to have to throw the ball a lot. I know they learned James Cook, but Jacksonville, of course, number 1 rush defense. Josh Allen will have to Superman this game, and he'll be throwing the ball. And obviously, when it comes to Bills receivers, none of them are reliable. They don't rely on anyone. That's why they keep signing people. They signed this guy about a month ago, Brandon Cooks. Yeah. And he became, all of a sudden, he's their outside threat. The Jacksonville's actually very good against the slot, so I don't expect a good game from Khalil Shakir. Their tight ends will get off a little bit, but Keon Coleman's not a thing. Josh Allen, a couple weeks ago, he had a 100-yard game versus the Eagles, and granted, a couple of busted plays, but that's what's going to happen. He throws deep balls to him. He's going to be the outside guy, and Josh Allen, he seemed to trust him. He was a veteran. He didn't play last week 18, which I think is a great sign that they think he's ready, and they want to just gear him up for this game. So His number is insanely low. It's like at 15 yards just for a regular over-under. So we're obviously going to vault that. The Brandon Cooks ladder, we'll just start at 40 yards. It's plus 272. 50 yards plus 427. Now, granted, like we said, all he has to do is what he did the last time out, which was 100 yards. 60 yards plus 650. 70 is 10-1. 80 yards is plus 1680. And I'm telling you, they're not even letting me go this high because they know 90 yards, 25-1. And for Brandon Cooks, the old school journeyman, we don't have an old journeyman anymore. He's an old school journeyman. 100 yards is 33-1 for Brandon Cooks to do exactly what he did versus a much better defense than the Eagles.
Yeah, no, and again, last time they had their start, that was their offense, was just chucking up prayer balls to they call them prayer yards instead of air yards. They were just chucking them up to Brandon Cooks. Yards, yeah. So yeah, I think that's a fun play in a garbage scenario where your Jags are running away with it.
I love this angle. Do we want to take a look at him to have the most receiving yards this weekend?
Oh, CJ, what do you think of that?
I love that one, and I put it on myself. I found it. I was looking for a number. I mean, some sites wouldn't give me
CJ. I got you.
There's going to be a Cole Kmet number where you can't give me a Brandon Cooks for crying out loud. But no, I found a 251 at one of the sites, if you will.
Yes. I was going to say there's 200-1 here at the Circa. Anyway, big numbers, big toppers.
Let's go with Circa there. 200-1 Circa. Why not? He is a deep threat. The volume alone. Allen's going to throw the ball 50 yards. Ryan, you did bring up during rehearsal that you just got to avoid the pass interference because he's very good at just trying to draw pass interference. He actually has to catch the ball, which could be a problem.
Yeah, he has had some issues. Crazy amount of teams he's been on for a guy who kind of produces in all of his spots.
He's clearly a prickly character.
Must be a real.
I think he's just a rambling man who doesn't really need to settle down.
Go town to town.
Months,
he's like the Joe Flacco of receivers.
Exactly.
What's another ladder, CJ, for wild card weekend?
For wild card weekend, thank you for not calling it super wild card weekend there, Sean. NFL would like you to forget that ever happened the last 2 years. Going to go to that night game. Now, this is not this of the bad weather ones. I think it will be the best of the bad weather, if that makes sense, the New England Chargers game. And I think there's going to be a lot of air yards here for at least the Chargers. I think all the Chargers numbers are pretty low. Now, obviously, they have a terrible offensive line, but luckily, the Patriots do not like to pressure as much, and I don't think it'll be a problem. And the last time that happened, which is just a couple weeks ago, granted it was against Dallas, but Herbert looked great again. 300 yards, all the touchdowns when he has protection. Versus Houston, Philly, he's not. So I think Herbert, with a week of rest, this O-line with a week of rest, is going to have plenty of time to throw the ball. Quentin Johnson has been a surprise all year, and he's going to be a great deep threat here. And I think he goes over the top a couple of times here. There's a good opportunity here. Quentin Johnson at 50 yards is plus 160. Let's leap a couple playoff pegs here. 70 yards is 4-1. 80 yards is plus 610. 90 at plus 980. Now, 100-yard game for Quentin Johnson is 15-1. I just preface it because that's all advise all clients to go towards. But there's sites that offer just some super duper tippy top playoff numbers, if you will, to the ladder. You can go up to 130 yards at 50-1. What?
Wow.
Why are you going to offer that number? Because I'm going to take it. But 130 yards, 50-1, 120 is 30-1. It's crazy. But I do like Quentin Johnson to get into 80, 100 yards.
Well, and we were talking about this. We talked some playoff leaders on our props episode, Sports Gambling Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. And I think, obviously, if you like the ladder, you got to also be playing them to lead the weekend, I think, here a little bit. Because, again, like if Brandon Cooks, if he goes off, if he has 90, 100 yards, he's going to be, he's going to be in the mix there.
Yeah,
Last year, McConkey had 195. That was like a bonkers game script in a dome. Crazy. But now we got no indoor games, all outdoor games, weather in a lot of games, as you've highlighted. So I think if you like some of these receivers to go off, you gotta play the leader market as well.
I agree.
Certainly the leader market, just for comparison's sake, I think you said 130 was 50-1. You can find between 50 and 65-1 on him to lead the weekend. So that's probably on the fringe of but
like Brandon Cooks, it was, what'd you say, CJ, like 33 for 100-1? I mean, the 200 to 1.
Well, that's a bit.
That's a different.
That's gasoline right there.
Cooks is
love
more
this
right,
one.
so.
If you I just showed off 2 big TDs from Quentin Johnson.
Yes,
so
they were great.
I
Yes.
co-signed this message. Which, by the way, if you wanted to pair 125 yards with 2 touchdowns, it pays 96 to 1.
Now that's a spicy meatball for Harbaugh. And Justin Herbert, we know he always comes up big in playoff games.
Might have to blur CJ's face with that. I don't know if that's safe for the airwaves a little bit.
CJ does like in the office when we're walking around and you put out like a really long number, he just gets this like deviant like his eyes and it's just like, oh, what's that you saying over there?
Well, it was a combination of those juicy numbers, and I got the producer footage on my feed, and I'm just looking at the Omaha Steaks as well. So
those wings do
a lot
look
of,
good.
Making me think of Magic City.
Crazy.
And I don't know what happened. Humans cleaned us out. Usually there's some scraps left over for the late shift, but there was not a morsel of Omaha Steaks left for the old Sports Gambling Podcast.
He emptied it out in the gym bag.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have no hour 3 meat sweats.
No meat sweats tonight. All right, CJ, 1 minute, real quick. You got to have a positive. Jags play here, right?
No, of course. One Ryan will, of course, agree with. It's the coronation. Let's the party. There's a quick sack ladder. You have Josh Hines Allen versus Josh Allen, the namesake. He's angry that he had to add a middle name just because of him, one of those celebrities afterwards anyway. But also he's been one of the best defensive players of the year, and his pressure rate has been insane second half of the season. Quick sack. And Josh Allen has been taking a lot of bad sacks this year, especially when he plays hero ball. He goes back there. I have full confidence that Jacksonville will get at least a couple sacks in this game. So let's go Josh Hines Allen. He's plus 115 for 1 sack, but 2 sacks, 6 to 1. Let's go.
Let's go.
We got big checks walking.
Breaking news right behind us.
Wow.
Big checks coming through the sports book. Look at this parade of giant checks. Probably just going to put it down all in the Jags. I wonder if you can catch that at the book there. Of course, they are streaming the check ceremony over on the X feed of VSIN Live and the YouTube feed. When we return, more CJ Sullivan. We'll talk some playoff leaders for the whole shebang, and we're going to take home a pleaser card. All that much more. Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN.
You're here because you want an edge. That's what separates listeners from winners. But let's be real, mindset alone doesn't get bets home. Pros win because they've got the tools, the data, and the discipline. And now so can you. VSiN Pro gives you access to the same real-time insights the sharps use. No secrets, no fluff, just actionable info that moves markets. Tap the link and see why serious bettors are turning knowledge into profit with VSiN Pro.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live. Sean Second Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. Happy Friday, Kramer.
Thank you.
It was, and we got a little bit of a shot there. They were just parading around. They had drums, they had the bottle girls with the big checks, lights going everywhere. Truly is awesome, and it's got to be pretty cool. And I know, Derek, you're becoming a football millionaire. It really is the American dream.
It's got to feel good to carry a big check. One day,
Kramer. One day we'll keep chasing that jacket and that giant check. Hey, real quick, if you're looking to advertise here on VSiN, you can do it with Mission Media. If you want real results, Mission Media connects your brand with audiences that actually engage. Look at this: live TV, top-ranked podcasts, daily newsletters, website traffic, more than 400 radio affiliates nationwide, and of course, Sirius XM channel 158. Get started today at VSiN.com/advertise or email advertising@VSiN.com. That's VSiN.com/advertise. Speaking of hanging out with us on the Progressive Guest Line, the one and only CJ Sullivan from the Bottom Line Bombs podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. CJ, what do you want to talk first? Do we want to attack this pleaser card, this elusive pleaser card, or do you want to give out a playoff future leader you like?
I don't know. We should cram it in because I don't want to need to get bumped again for styrofoam checks. I mean,
Yeah,
I've been into biz before. I know what getting bumped is, but
Big
that was
checks,
the first time. Yeah, just a parade like it was the Stanley Cup. They just paraded through the sports book, and everyone just make way,
Big
make way
checks.
for the mid cash check, huge checks.
There's some poor sap who was on Oregon sitting in the book going, "Oh man, you got to rub it right in my face." But no,
he's
that's
still
awesome.
holding on to his Oregon bet.
Yeah. All right, CJ, let's give me a playoff leader future that you like. Of course, they have these markets pretty fun to play into. A passing touchdown leader, receiving touchdown leader, rushing touchdown leader. And, it's a combination of games played with, whether they're going to go off or not. What's one that's jumping out at you?
There's a lot of great fun numbers here. I've been telling him for a while. I hit his ladder last week right here on this VSIN segment, but we all know the Jaguars are going to the Super Bowl. That has been confirmed in all the futures and in all the show. I mean, and he's still slightly underpriced, but Parker Washington to lead receiving yards is 40-1. He's becoming the Jaguars' number one receiver. He's the one Trevor Lawrence trusts most. And I have a lot of receivers. They spread it out a lot around, obviously, but that's what Strange and Jacoby Myers does. But Parker Washington is clearly their number one last 3 weeks. 20 targets, and he just keeps banging them out 100 yards. So 40-1 for a team that plays all the maximum games if they get to the Super Bowl, of course, I think it's nice value.
Yeah. No, I mean, Parker Washington's kind of become his guy. I gave him out most receiving yards for the weekend at 25-1. So I totally see the case there. For me, I'm going to go to my boy, Dallas Goedert. Leads the Eagles in receiving touchdowns with 11. And he's only one back of Devontae Adams for the regular season receiving touchdowns. So him to have the most receiving touchdowns in the playoffs at 22-1. You only need to get 3 or 4 to get home. I love his matchup here in the first game. And if the Eagles go on a bit of a run here, I think he's going to be a good value. So give me Dallas Goedert, most receiving touchdowns for the playoffs at 22-1. Kramer, what are you doing? Give us a leader market.
I'll be completely honest. The first thing I looked at was, do they have a Trevor Lawrence rushing yards number?
A rushing yards?
Get me out of the way. They do not. But they do have his rushing touchdowns.
Oh, well, the price has really dropped because Kramer,
amazing.
Across from me at Saginaw's Breakfast, goes, he's down to 14-1 for 2 touchdowns. They finally figured out Trevor.
There's so again, CJ and I both believe, and we have some graphics of CJ and I in the office, or heading to the office. In the Jagwagon. Oh, look.
Yeah. Shout out to our great listeners and AI. As some people have pointed out, Kramer, the steering wheel is on the wrong side.
It's
of
Duval. Duval County, we drive on the left.
Well, and again, they're home. They're
European.
Their home away from home is London, although they actually got destroyed in that game.
That's true.
That's why we picked it up so cheap, and we are in the HOV lane because we are in Los Angeles. So, but yeah, that's how we take the Jag and Wagon to work every day this year.
We've seen this before. I mean, it doesn't take but 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns potentially to get on top of this kind of market. We've seen quarterbacks recently do this, like Jalen Hurts, piling up the rushing touchdowns to take down this market, and he's 30-1. Now, you have to kind of adjust the price for the game, the projected games played. And again, the fact that they have this pick'em game against the Bills is just juicing their prices up. So while, again, we're not getting a great number here, this is for the brand. Duval, baby.
Just in case you were worried, Kramer didn't have enough riding on the Jags.
Everyone
There's
laughed.
one more.
Everyone laughed at me and CJ before the year when we were so optimistic.
You're right. People were doubting that they would go 13-4.
Literally,
I was on their over, but I didn't have them going 13-4.
I almost need to put a bounty out. If anyone else can prove they predicted 13-4.
Yes.
I will give you a reward. We'll get you a merch store card or something. Something is going your way.
Yeah. And listen, I welcome people in the Jaguar, but they do come late. It's kind of like a band you discover early on and then they blow up, all right. I remember Green Day when they were at the clubs, up in Seattle, but whatever, enjoy the music, I guess, the more the merrier. But yeah, we were on the ground floor.
All right, let's get to the real business at hand. The pleaser card. They fixed the printer or whatever was stopping them from putting out the pleaser card last week, and now we're threading quite a needle. If we're going to get 3 of these 6 games, pleaser worthy, and we certainly do see some pleaser-esque games in the wild card round. CJ, you have the honors. What is your first pleaser pick for wild card weekend?
Remind the audience, Sean, that the last time we did pick a pleaser, we won.
Yes.
Here.
We are on
week 7. It was week 17, and then week 18 came, and that's when the printer issues came up at the Circuit Casino. I'm not throwing accusations around, but you know what I mean. They know when the pleaser sharps get hot, and that was us. So now to give us less games, that's fine. But you look at those games. I mean, listen, I'll take this one because I know Ryan's going to pick up my back for the one that we all know is going to be played. And it goes against both you guys' sides, but give me those Rams to open up.
Oh, wow!
I don't care. They're going to slaughter Carolina.
Right. Well, I will say that was what the research taught me. You either take the dog on the money line or you take the favorite laying the points.
So I won't be playing Carolina plus 3.5. All right, CJ's all over the Rams. I'll go. Well, all right. There's a couple interesting.
Just circle the Jags. Just put the Jags on them. It's 6.5. What
that's
are we
what
doing?
I want to take from Ryan. That one's automatic. That's like
what are we doing
that's
here?
A given. That's your center bingo number. That's free.
It's a great point, CJ. I'm going to do a couple of these.
I like the Steelers to win, but I'm kind of worried about the 4.5. Now the Chargers winning by 3.5 does feel a little more realistic. CJ, I think Kramer's is harder on the Chargers.
I'm shocked we're not taking the Eagles.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
That's why I took the Rams. I thought it was going to be set up easy. Rams, Jags, Eagles. When we did the show in rehearsal this morning, I'm like,
all right. Well, I mean, the Eagles winning 22-10 like they did against the Packers. All right. Since you're twisting my arm, give me the Eagles.
I mean, what are we talking about?
Laying 11.5. So we got the Rams laying 17.5. Jags, of course, Duval laying 6.5, and then the Eagles laying 11.5. And actually, that's probably a pretty good number because Circa, this is your necro pleaser, CJ. We're playing into a dead number because the Circa as the Eagles is a 6-point favorite now. Opened up at 3, already up to 6.
Both the Jags and the Eagles are dead numbers because the Jags is off of 1.5, 1. So
yeah, you're right. Okay, so we're getting tremendous value on this.
We just got to wheel the Eagles and the Jags with everything.
Yeah. And Sean, real quick, it's our necro, please. Yeah. Don't try to throw that on me when the hate emails come here because we get loose with the language. But yes, that's when we do a please or dead number. It's called a necro please. And that's a double one. That's great. I mean, I think this is such an easy one for us. It's so obvious you have to play it.
Kramer, do you want to remind people the bubbles for if you're playing along at home? If you got one of the Scantron sheets, what are we filling in here?
Bubble 1, Rams minus 17.5. Bubble 6, Jaguars minus 6.5, and bubble 7, Eagles minus 11.5.
Okay, real quick, CJ, you are going to be reporting live from Lincoln Financial Field, boots on the ground, going back there to support our birds. Real quick, what is the final score prediction? 49ers at Eagles.
Well, and first of all, well wishes to all the participants. We certainly want to see Brock Purdy get hurt again, and then a backup thing where like what happened last time. And there's an emergency quarterback to throw him left-handed, even though Shanahan asked for the rule, and then he's not even going to follow it. That being said, it's going to be 33-13.
Ooh, 33-13.
That gets it done.
That does get it done. Yep. Of course, subscribe to the Bottom Line Bombs wherever you get your podcast. Big thanks to CJ Sullivan. Follow on X at CJ Sullivan. Kramer, when we return, more NFL picks. Sports Gamble Podcast live here on VSIN.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Second Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Well, not a lot of time to chit chat, Sean. We got games to talk about.
Fernando Mendoza, real quick. 2 college football playoff games 8 passing touchdowns, 5 incompletions. Just insane. Just insane.
Also, his use of the stat sheet in front of him at the desk, very polished. He's going to crush interviews. I'm telling you. It's as much as I don't think he's a first round quarterback, he's going to pass the test.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's talk enough college football talk, Sean. Although we do have an opener for the college football championship.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Colby next segment. Break that down, react to it live. Stay tuned.
All right, Bills Jags. We've talked a little bit about this game already. The Jacksonville.
We've had a little Jags talk already. Yes.
Jags laying. Oh no, they're a pick. What is this? They're not laying points at home for a playoff game in Duval. Everyone's making a big fuss about the Panthers having all these festivities. You don't think Duval's going to be rocking? The Bills coming to town? Like I said, pick 51.5 is the total. You know where I stand here, Sean.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like about the Jags this week.
I do like the Jags. Yeah, I like their ability to slow down the run. I mean, you look at this Bills team. If they can't get James Cook going, they do struggle. Jacksonville, only team in the NFL not to allow a player to run for 75 yards in a single game this season. And you look at the Bills, the entire season, they've only won 2 games this year with Cook getting less than 75 yards. Week 1 against Baltimore, obviously crazy game script there. And then week 10 against the Bucs at home, both games at home, haven't been able to do that on the road. So I think if you can slow down James Cook, and then on the other side, Bills struggle against the running back. So I think this Jags team's going to stay hot. I don't know if they go on that same run that Ryan is predicting, because they're coming in winning 8 in a row. I think they're good here, and then we'll see what happens after that. As far as the Jags' weaknesses, they're not great against the tight end. I think Dawson Knox could find the end zone. But I think if the Bills get it done, it's with Josh Allen and his legs. So I think that is something you got to keep an eye on. But overall, I mean, this Bills defense kind of soft, and especially on the road, they've struggled here. So I think this is a coming out party for Jags. If you're not already aware, the Jags does seem possibly the team to beat in the AFC. Kramer, I know we're not the only ones. Of course, you've been on the Jag wagon all season long, but even others are hopping on the Jag wagon, including Jeff Schwartz. Let's take a listen.
I think it's Jacksonville, which again scares me to win the AFC. There's a scenario where they have 2 straight home games, right? It's possible, and then go to Denver, let's say, or maybe they host the AFC Championship game. And then I look at the Rams. I think the Rams are better than Seattle. I know they beat them a couple weeks ago, did Seattle. I look at the Rams as being that team. Head coach, quarterback, good in the trenches, can rush the passer, have been there before. It's kind of wild. A 5 seed right now is the second best odds. They won't have a home game in the postseason. They have to play 3 road playoff games. But they're comfortable playing on the road. They're comfortable in weather and bad elements. They're a team that's ready for this moment. So I think Rams Jacksonville is probably the way I'd roll here.
And of course, Jags went into Denver and beat them up pretty bad. And I think that was when if you weren't taking the Jags seriously, you certainly had to after that win.
Well, there was a lot of talk about they haven't played anyone there, but it's almost a little bit like a college feel. They were just putting up 35 points on everyone. And I think, the narrative about the Bills defense, 31st in DVOA against the run, that there's going to be opportunity there. But I think the quiet part of the story here is, the defense is playing excellent. The defense is going to give Josh Allen. I think the defense is going to put the game on Josh Allen's arm.
Yeah.
And he's been making mistakes when they do that. And it's crazy to say this. Well, not for me, but for most. I trust Trevor Lawrence right now, the way he's playing versus Josh Allen. If my MVP ballot, Trevor Lawrence, number 1.
Okay. It's shocking.
And I'm also, now do you want to talk about alt numbers? Any interest in? No,
I'm good at the pick. Give me Jags here. Took it at the Circa here as a pick. And Josh Allen hasn't won a road playoff game. 0-4 straight up NATS. And I'm not the only one saying it, but I do think if the Bills early exit here, look to Harbaugh possibly making a run there for the Bills head coaching job if they get rid of McDermott.
Interesting. Did you see Harbaugh's list of demands?
No.
$20 million a year apparently is what he's looking for money wise, which doesn't matter. There's no salary cap there, but it has come out that he will be installing his own GM.
Bad news for Joe Shane if he ends up going to the Giants, right?
Well, yeah, I think it's bad news for Joe Shane.
So officially give me the Jags here as a pick. Kramer? Lock it in.
Yeah, give me the Jags as a pick, and then I'm also going to lay. Circa has 4.5 plus 180.
Oh,
right now.
okay.
So I'm going to lay. I'm going to lay it, and then we'll see. I've looked in faraway places down near the equator. They have minus 13.5 and minus 16.5 that are calling my name. So, and of course, we already talked about the pleaser.
A lot of Jags action.
Anything else you'd like? Yeah. Honestly, I'm not even that crazy with props in this game.
No, I think ETN has a good game. And I think they're able to slow down James Cook, and I think that's the difference.
Yeah, James Cook's under is a strong look in the rushing game. What is it? Jags haven't allowed a 75-yard rusher all season, I believe.
Yep.
All right, game number 2 on Sunday. Your Philadelphia Eagles taking on the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco coming all the way across the country. This number opened 3.5, and it's shot all the way up to 6, Sean. 44.5 is the total. I think the more that people probably sat down and thought about this one, in some ways you can discard some of the Eagles' offensive woes in the regular season, because to me they were hinged on the idea that Jalen Hurts was trying to not run the ball more. In the playoffs, I'm confident he's going to go back to running the ball, using his legs when he needs to. And you mentioned the Dallas Goedert stuff. That's all nice. I even think Saquon Barkley could have a little bit of a shocking game here in terms of a positive based on how bad his season was, as I think they're going to push them around a little bit. I do think Lane Johnson coming back matters, and I think Eagles score points on offense, and I don't know if the Eagles allow too many on defense. And so this one, to me, just like the Jags, playing the alt numbers, blowout city.
Yeah, no, simple formula. Eagles at home, Jalen Hurts 5-0 straight up, 4-1 ATS. I think they take care of business here against the 49ers. Maybe it's not even the prettiest game like against the Packers, 22-10, where they get up and they just kind of squeeze the life out of you. And this defense is, I'm telling you, it's a championship caliber defense. And on the other side, offensively, with these linebackers banged up, that plays right into the Eagles' hands. I'm with you, Kramer. I like the Hurts over rushing yards. That's sitting at 31.5. I think Goddard could get into the end zone, as I mentioned earlier. I think they have some nice matchups for them. This 49ers defense is just incredibly banged up. They went on the road and they let dusty old Phillip Rivers put up 28 on them or whatever it was. I think they're going to struggle to slow down this Eagles team, who is incredibly well rested. That was a brutal physical game they played against Seattle, and now you got to fly out to the East Coast. You heard all the 49ers players saying, hey, we're looking forward to that rest. We need that bye. We don't want to have to travel. And now that reality's staring them right in the face as they got to go to the East Coast, play a very well-rested, healthy Philadelphia Eagles team. I think they roll in, and I think Fangio is going to Fangio versus Shanahan, I think, is actually a good matchup for Fangio. Historically, he's done very well against the Kyle Shanahan offense, albeit with maybe substandard quarterbacks, but that's usually where Shanahan shines. The great Sal Pal weighed in on a similar angle.
I'm going to say something. It might be controversial. I think this Eagles defense is better than the one that won the Super Bowl last year.
I think you might be right.
Ooh, that is strong.
I think they're better.
Yep.
I do. You got Pro Bowlers at all 3 levels. You got 4 decades plus of experience from Vic Fangio. And you heard today Kyle Shanahan talking about how he tried to hire Vic Fangio 3 times. And Fangio against Shanahan is 3-1, by the way, in his career. 3-1.
Yeah, I agree with the Sal Pal. I don't think the offense is as good as last year's team, but I think the defense is actually better. I mean, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, those guys were rookies. Jordan Davis has lost a bunch of weight. He's much better. Jacoby Dean's on the field. Jalen Carter, I think, is better this year. So I think they're like a noticeably better defense than last year. And I think last year's defense was pretty good. So I think the defense is really how they're going to win games and go on a run here. But I think the offense is going to be able to do enough, especially against a banged up 49ers defense. So I think the Eagles roll here. I'm always going to be riding with the Birds, but I think in particular, this is a pretty solid matchup for them, Kramer.
The Niners gave up 89 points to the Titans, the Colts, and the Bears in 3 straight weeks. So I do think there's some points to be had And we got through the whole entire set. I guess we won't have time to talk about elf fields and the effect on the San Francisco 49ers health.
Yeah, look out for those magnetic fields. Go check out that tweet that went viral about how their practice field being a substation next to a substation is slowly
not good.
deteriorating their muscles.
Good.
All time, if you want to... the truth is out there. Do a little digging on that situation. So yes, give me the Eagles laying the 6. Obviously 3.5 is better, but I think it's still good here on the 6. When we return, college football national championship with Colby Dant. Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Second the Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Very excited to talk about this national championship game with Colby.
Yeah, no, early look and joining us on the line from the college experience. Check it out wherever you get your podcasts, live on YouTube. Colby Dant, a.k.a. Pick Dundee, hanging out on the progressive guest line. Colby, what's happening, man?
Oh, just, nothing like a sweat-free, after the first play of the game with D'Angelo Pons, that was, I felt like we cashed it right then. First play of the game.
I was saying I was putting in my bets for the NFL, and I was, if you know the Circus layout, there's just like that huge crowd there, and I'm like looking at the sheet, kind of glancing up at the college football game starting, and then that pick 6 happens and the crowd erupts. It almost like startled me, the noise from the circuit. Again, great live experience here, and then it was off and running there. I thought, Oregon quickly answered. You think, okay, maybe. And there's always that weirdness of like your offense hadn't been out there for a really long time because of the pick 6. And then Oregon with that long answer. But man, never in doubt. And I gave out the Alta 13.5, and that wasn't even a sweat.
Yeah. And, so I think that makes it JMU 2-1 all time against Oregon this year. That was one of the best things.
If people don't listen to the podcast, explain your JMU take for those that might be new.
Well, their entire coaching staff was at James Madison. Also, Kalen Black, who had a touchdown rushing today. Elijah Surratt, their star wideout, had 2 receiving touchdowns today. Kamara, they had multiple defensive linemen from JMU that had forced fumbles and sacks this game. And then Aiden Fisher, their linebacker, with a big 4th down stop, former JMU guy. And then Pons, the corner, the first play of the game. He's a former JMU guy, probably going to be the first corner drafted in the NFL draft. So to see JMU beat them, Sean, and also how about the fact that Oregon, we can finally put to bed these recruiting rankings were a sham for so long just to prop up these brands, right? So Oregon with 58 4 and 5 stars, right? With the Indiana Hoosiers sitting there at over 73 stars on their roster. They have 7 4-star players on their team in total. And a lot of those are getting the 4-star treatment because of the transfer portal.
It is remarkable because that is generally Colby's whole theory here is that's how the polls are created. You have the best players. You have the most number of players. We're going to rank you higher. So this is good for all things. What I like the most is how they are just absolutely curb stomping teams. They are taking teams out to the woodshed like the SEC was worried about hurting people, right? Like all the pundits with their takes about worried about JMU and Tulane getting hurt.
Issue.
I got to be honest. Whoever plays this team, who got hurt today?
Should we allow Big Ten teams in the college football playoff besides Indiana? This is a health issue. Imagine if JMU lost by this margin.
Oh my goodness! And who got hurt tonight? Dante Moore's draft stock.
Oh, not a great.
Even the announcers were like, in the draft stuff, it's really about projection. He's got all the tools in the world.
Someone had a great tweet. They go, he hasn't even been drafted, and the Jets have already broken Dante Moore. So getting ahead of it with some Jets hot takes there. We got to talk about the other side though. Awesome game between Miami and Ole Miss, just real back and forth. It was nice. I was on Miami. Certainly a bit of a sweat there. Carson Beck, and Mario Cristobal, guys, we've been critical of, came up huge in a huge spot. Colby, what was your make of Miami's win over Ole Miss there?
Well, I mean, Miami did everything. Look, credit to them. I never thought Mario Cristobal would be coaching in a national championship, but like, if you look at the box score of that game, it's almost amazing that they almost lost the game. I mean, they were losing with less than 2 minutes left. Yeah. And it's like, you look at the box score and you're like, wait a second here. Ole Miss was 2 of 10 on 3rd and 4th down. Miami was 13 of 21 on 3rd and 4th down. It's like, how the heck did Miami almost lose this game? They did drop a lot of interceptions. Maybe that had something to it. They also threw a pick in the red zone, but either way, shout out to Miami for getting there. I never thought Cristobal would get them there, even though I know he can recruit well, and John Ruiz will write those checks. But I still think, this is Hoosier. This is a great spot for the Hoosiers, just because. Go ahead. Well, no, you got Mario Cristobal, who was a high school teammate of Fernando Mendoza's dad. Oh, wow. You got to love that. And also the fact that his mom went to the University of Miami as well. So I'm sure growing up in Miami, Fernando Mendoza, they probably sent a lot of tape to University of Miami, knowing that Cristobal was the head coach there. So I think this one's going to be personal for Mendoza.
Never heard
Mendoza family.
And the game is in Florida. They've opened it here at the Circa, 7.5, 48's the total.
Called it.
I certainly, so we were discussing earlier, the look ahead or the projected number was 6 before the games were played. And so Colby, first look, is there any way you can get in the way of this Mendoza train?
I can't, because like Indiana just doesn't beat themselves. No. Like they're so prepared. They stay in their lanes. You saw it on the 4th down and 1 when Aiden Fisher stayed disciplined and shot right through the gap. And that play was designed misdirection. He didn't fall for the misdirection. They're same with Pons. The first play of the game, he jumps on that pass before the receiver even makes his break. So he had watched the film. You could tell that they're just so well prepared. And to me, as you saw, like with Miami and Ole Miss, credit to Miami. I know this will be a home game for them, but they almost gave away that game. And it was kind of like, if you watch that game, I felt like you always thought Miami was up 2 scores, even though they were just barely up. So I think Indiana's the play. They're a team of destiny. And that's another thing. Once we went to this 12-team playoff, everyone said, we'll never have an undefeated team again, a super dominant team again. Indiana looks like one of the best teams I've ever seen in my life watching college football right now.
Crafting my take in real time. While I do think the number's big, and the math side of my brain probably says to take the U, I would never do that. And as I'm crafting this and turn it upside down, as I'm crafting, which by the way, the Ole Miss player is doing that. Like, what are you doing? You're losing the game. Miami hosting a national championship? Is that the best environment? You want Michael Irvin and the team close to home, and got your normal ladies around.
And in some ways, Miami has been successful on the road, maybe away from distractions, maybe an extra ability to focus. And then I think Colby nailed it with like that pick 6. Clearly, Cignetti is preparing these guys, and now you have this extra week plus to prepare. Man, it's going to be tough to get in front of this Indiana team right now. The counter is, we saw the ball bounce right multiple times for Indiana, right? And what was it, the 985 offensive plays without losing a fumble? They had 3 very losable fumbles in this game. Now, wouldn't have mattered in this game, but hypothetically, against a very good Miami defense, a Miami defense that's probably due for the ball to bounce their way right. They had their hands on 4 or 5 interceptions, and someone who was bet on Miami, if I had hair, I'd be pulling it out because they were so close to picking off Chambliss so many times there. Obviously, that's how they're going to win this game, but it's tough to project Mendoza and Cignetti into a lot of mistakes with extra time.
That almost sack fumble we saw is his weakness. He does have real bad pocket awareness sometimes. And Miami's pass rush is better than I think what we saw today from Oregon. So That would be the matchup to circle. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I can get in front of this train.
Yeah.
I would say another thing is you see how many Indiana fans were at the game today. I think they're gonna pack Hard Rock Stadium.
Oh yeah.
That would actually be pretty embarrassing. You host the national championship. You get a $3 million travel voucher to go nowhere.
Yeah.
And your own fans don't show up.
Well, again, we have some ideas of where that travel voucher money might go. Michael Irvin's been their named traveling secretary.
I mean, look at the crowd today. Oregon. I mean, what was it? The 4K feed I was watching on my phone for a short period during commercials. It just showed you the crowd.
Yeah.
I'm not even less than 20% was Oregon fans.
Comedy wise, though, Cristobal and Beck winning a national championship over Cignetti, that would be certainly entertaining. Man, that Miami defense, that D line is legit. I think that's the only thing that could maybe keep them in this. And Miami's playing with nothing to lose, a home dog. But yeah, I'll probably end up being on Miami. Stay tuned. We'll break this down over the next week. Of course, subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast and the College Experience wherever you get your podcast. Daily college basketball picks. Colby Danton crew killing it. Kramer, when we return, sports betting blackjack.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network. Here are your hosts, Sean Green and Ryan Kramer. I can't believe we're letting these guys on my network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Second Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Happy Saturday to the East Coast, Sean.
Happy Saturday to the East Coast. Happy Friday here in Las Vegas. And it's time for everyone's favorite sports betting blackjack.
Should you hit?
Hit me.
You have 17, sir.
I like to live dangerously.
Should you stay?
5.
I'll stay. I also like to live dangerously.
Let's see what the guys choose this week on Sports Betting Blackjack.
Very easy. You can play along at home. Kramer and I play blackjack against the dealer, and each card coincides with an NFL prop here from the weekend. And like in blackjack, you don't get to decide the cards you're dealt. You're dealt that card. You got to make a case for it on the spot why you like that prop. So we got a bunch of interesting ones. Thanks as always for producer Johnny putting this segment together.
Would you like a cut?
Sure, I love cutting.
Oh,
Kramer.
no. People get weird when you actually take the cut.
Really?
Yeah, they think it's odd.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you. It's odd when you don't cut a deck. Come on.
There you go.
You don't come. Untrustworthy people are everywhere.
Dealer showing a 4 of hearts. Kramer?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
8 of hearts for you, Sean. 8 of hearts.
8 of hearts. 8 of hearts is Luther Burden III under 40.5 receiving yards. Yeah, I think this game, I mean, if I'm the Bears, I'm looking to pound the rock more. And Luther Burden has been kind of efficient, but and I know he's kind of turned into their go-to guy, but this Packers team knows how to play them. So Luther Burden, again, rookie with a quarterback making his playoff debut. I could see him not having a big game. I was playing him earlier on towards the end of the season, but I like this. This is a good time to fade him here against this Packers defense, I think. So Luther Burden III under 40.5 receiving yards.
And worth noting the wind in this game. It does
could get a little ugly, but it's weird. I think snow helps the overs because the defense doesn't, the offense knows where they're going. Defense doesn't know, but the wind really messes with the kicking game and certainly the passing game.
Gusts averaging over 35 miles an hour, expected to blow be across the field. So Caleb Williams has a strong arm, though. I guess that's the counter to the counter.
Yeah. But is he a cold weather quarterback, Ryan?
Yeah,
we've kind of debated
we've established
this.
that he is. He has performed.
Does it strike you? You don't think well manicured nails and cold weather quarterback, but I don't. As someone who's on the Packers, it's not because I don't think Caleb's going to show up in cold weather. It's more he's just never played in the playoffs, I think is the bigger thing.
Yeah, and Ben Johnson. And just that rivalry there. 8 of hearts for me.
No, you got an ace, Ryan.
What did I say? 8?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Ace of hearts. You have the 8 of hearts. Puka Nacua over 90.5 receiving yards.
It's kind of actually low for Puka, considering the number they were hanging with no Devontae Adams, and certainly that changes it, but it's your card, Ryan.
Well, and Devontae Adams' number is 54.5. They are talking about him being on a little bit of they're not saying a snap count, but it does seem like Devontae Adams might not be playing 100% of the snaps he normally would. And so for that reason, I mean, I like Kyren, but you have to like Puka just based on what his volume can be. If Devontae Adams is limited and they don't roll him out there all the snaps, we're expecting 10 plus targets here. Now there is expected to be a ton of rain, wind, but Puka's a dog. He's a bad weather player, and I'm certainly not taking a Puka under in a gotta have it game. So give me the over 90.5. Although I like the Kyren stuff better.
All
Sean,
right, so 8
would you like another
4?
card?
Yeah, keep the cards coming.
Another heart.
Okay.
Jack of hearts. Who shuffled
Kramer
this?
must not have shuffled these.
Who shuffled this?
Christian Watson over 58.5. Yeah, I'm not.
No, you got Coker. Jalen Coker.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Jack,
we're having a hard time with the cards today.
Well, we're a little rusty. I haven't done the segment in a while. Jalen Coker over 37.5. Jack of clubs. Now, expect a little bit of weather in this game, but I think Tech could have a big game, and then the other guy is clearly Coker. I keep, much to my chagrin, keep playing the Mitchell Evans touchdown, which I will be playing again just in case, but not officially. But Jalen Coker, 37.5, again against this Rams secondary. I know they're getting Quentin Lake back, but I think you can throw against this Rams secondary a little bit. 37.5 is a pretty low number. Granted, Bryce Young doesn't normally throw for a ton of yards. If he does have a good game, it's usually getting into the end zone. But give me the Coker over receiving yards at 37.5. I'm trying to I'll pull up his, what do you think he did in that first matchup, Ryan?
He scored a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he had a 33-yard touchdown off the top of my head. And he had 4 for 74, including that 33-yard touchdown. So him to have 37.5 as someone who's on the Panthers, I think they're going to have to throw a little bit. And the other receivers besides Coker and Tet are kind of out of the mix here. Tight ends get a little bit of work. So I think it's Jalen Coker the rest of the way.
Yeah, and it does seem like that game, particularly the weather, at least the rain portion of the weather, is trending towards less than more as we get closer to kick. Okay. Can I get a blackjack? King of spades.
Blackjack.
What is this?
Are you worried you wasted your blackjack here, right?
I won't be playing out there. Rico Dowdle over 45.5.
Oh, come on.
Rushing yards.
Oh, come on.
Certainly, if he doesn't get to 45.5, this is a problem. They're getting Hunt, but they're getting the guards. The guards are healthy. I certainly think you're going to look to attack this Rams defensive front on the ground. It's gettable. And Rico Dowdle posted a couple of things this week to social media that make me think he's very focused on performing well in the playoff game, or I get too caught up on the off the field stuff. But yeah, Rico Dowdle over 45.5 rushing yards. This is almost, if he doesn't get to 45.5, are we talking about a serious blowout?
I mean, this game could go a lot of different ways because of the weather, because of, I think to me, the game depends more on the Panthers' ability to slow down the Rams and more so turn over Matt Stafford. If Matt Stafford doesn't throw an interception, I think they're cooked, because that means they're playing a really clean game and they're probably moving the ball.
He had 18 for 58 in the first matchup.
18 for what?
58.
Okay. Yeah. And
if he gets 18 carries again, we're good.
We've seen a motivated Rico Dowdle before. And I would say, even if the Panthers get down, I don't think they're going to abandon the run. I think they realize they need to keep pounding. Again, that is their hashtag, nice. Keep pounding.
That big drum.
And yeah, if you want to get hyped, if you're a Panthers fan or a Panthers backer, you want to get hyped up, watch Rico Dowdle's hype video on social media. It'll get you fired up. I was ready to run through a brick wall just watching the Rico Dowdle hype video, Kramer. So I'm sitting on an 18. You're sitting on a blackjack.
Yeah, well, it's 11. I don't know. Is it 6 to 5 in here?
Can you double it?
Well, a 6-5 table, I'm doubling 11.
Okay, that is
every
actually
time.
the play. Yes,
Yeah, of course.
Dealer showed a 4.
I did bump into shout out to Fezzik earlier.
Yes.
He was wondering if we were going to be playing blackjack later.
Oh,
So
yes.
I'm sure he's watching.
He
would love to hear me say that the math would tell you to double an 11 against a 4 on a 6-5.
Well, and again, if you go deep math, it does depend on the number of decks, right?
Sure, but
If
against
you're
a
not
4,
counting.
5, or 6 with the 11, you're feeling pretty. That's a pretty good.
It's a double down situation.
Yeah.
All right, do we flip the deal or are you taking the double? Take the double.
Should I
Come
take a
on.
double?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Ryan
20.
Doubled the blackjack, got a 9.
9 of hearts.
9 of hearts. What do we got for a 9 of hearts?
I will say, if you ever double a blackjack at an actual table, they're going to do the whole sign to get all the cameras watching you for the rest of the night. 9 of hearts, Colston Loveland over 46.5. I have heard a lot of talk about how he has emerged to the safety target for Caleb, and how if the Packers bring pressure, which we expect them to, Colston Loveland could potentially be one of those targets we see a little early often in terms of the hot reads. So 46.5 is not much. I mean, he's also a player that has gotten better, like a fine wine, Sean. He's gotten better as the season's gone on. He's coming off a game where he had 10 targets and 91 yards. Even before that, 6 for 94. So he's becoming a big part of their offense. The number's pretty low. And I think with the blitz packages that we expect to see from the Packers, I think he's going to, assuming the win doesn't completely neutralize the passing games, this should be a smash over, just like doubling on an 11 against a 4.
All right, so dealer's showing a 4.
Yeah,
I'll stay on an 18.
6. The dealer's got a 6.
2 of spades for the dealer. 13. Monkey. And we got a monkey. Dealer bust. I do miss that from blackjack. But now I feel like I'm retired from blackjack and craps, at least temporarily. Really? I've been cold on the craps table.
Want to talk about it?
No, I mean, what's there to talk about? The dice have been cold. I keep building up these numbers and then get wiped out with those devious 7s.
Doesn't mean you go away.
Take a little pause. What about the Jack of Clubs? Can we pull up the Jack of Clubs, the dealer bust card, see what the dealer was on? Dealer's Jack of Clubs, Caleb Williams under 205.5. Yeah, this is interesting. Game script wise. What are your thoughts here, Kramer? I don't have a strong take on Caleb Williams. If I was dealt this card, I would talk myself into it being, hey, this is a division game. We're seeing Caleb Williams for a 3rd time in his playoff debut. I like that matchup for the Packers, who are well rested coming into this game.
I think this is a tight game narrative. I think if both teams come in trying to pound the rock, this makes a lot of sense. But the issue becomes if Green Bay pops their head up and takes a little bit of a lead, Ben Johnson is going to get aggressive quickly.
Well, and Caleb has made a huge jump from his rookie season, in large part to Ben Johnson. But I would say where he's struggled is completion percentage. He still kind of misses some throws. He has moments where he has lapses with the footwork, and I think that's where you can get some 3 and outs, some sloppy throws.
The film bros have killed him since the end of the season. Like, he's still not good.
No, I think, again, the truth is somewhere in between.
Yeah.
He's much better than he was last year. I still don't think he's at his peak form.
And he's fun to watch.
He is.
Entertaining.
He is fun. 186 last time they played. Hey, when we return, more NFL picks. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN.
You're here because you want an edge. That's what separates listeners from winners. But let's be real, mindset alone doesn't get bets home. Pros win because they've got the tools, the data, and the discipline. And now so can you. VSIN Pro gives you access to the same real-time insights the sharps use. No secrets, no fluff, just actionable info that moves markets. Tap the link and see why serious bettors are turning knowledge into profit with VSIN Pro.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Second Money Green with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Well, we have more NFL football to talk about, Sean.
Yes, and of course, check out Kramer, regular now on Follow the Money. Friday afternoons, they got the old Kramer graphic.
You want to behind
Paulie going Kramer?
You want a little behind the scenes story?
Sure.
Last week, so first time I was doing it in studio, I come in and Paulie's like clearing the papers on his side, and I said, "Please, it's an honor to sit in front of your papers." So,
well, and I know you had a computer mishap. Hopefully, thoughts and prayers for the laptop.
He seemed pretty excited about some of the picks, so I think the laptop must not be on the front of his mind. He did ask me for my opinion on every team to score a rushing touchdown plus 12,000. So loves those.
Yeah, no,
loves those. My take was
I liked some of those, but the bets where it's like everything in a quarter, it's just like 5 rushing yards in a quarter. It sounds so easy, but then I think you're minimizing your time in the
rushing touchdown in every game. Which I said that the Monday night game will be the one to surprisingly be in trouble. I think that's a sweat for me.
Yeah, because those teams love settling for field goals, and DK Metcalf having one, and then like Dalton Schultz in that game. We'll talk about it coming up here. Let's get into it.
I also mentioned that maybe 200-1 for no touchdown in the Bears-Packers game. If there's some weather there, that's certainly interesting. All right. 2 more games to go, both of them in prime time. First up, we got a little New England. The Patriots are back to hosting playoff games, Sean. 5:15 here on the West Coast. Chargers coming to town. New England's laying the full 3.5. 45.5 is the total. This is a game that, I'd say pretty split opinion in terms of folks that I've talked to. I see the splits here at the circa 60% of the bets, but only 28% of the money on the Patriots. I tend to, you look at the experience versus inexperience, although Herbert, not a ton of good playoff experience. Drake May has none of it. I think Drake May, we've seen all the graphics about how much the team didn't play anyone, about how they went against a really weak slate of quarterbacks. A new stat dropped today. They were the only team in the league to face a cumulative negative EPA per dropback this season, and it's not even close to the 31st team. And so I say all that to say we got John Harbaugh and a well-coached Chargers team coming to town, a defense that I think can give Drake May some trouble, and a quarterback that I'm willing to put my faith in here, catching the full 3.5 points. And why not? Play the money line. Give me the Chargers.
Jim Harbaugh, Kramer. You got John on the brain.
Oh, you're right. I do. My bad. Both Harbaughs are great. I've said this to you privately, but I can't wait. If Harbaugh is hired by the Giants, the thing I'm most excited for is hanging out with Justin Decker, Chargers fan, and just talking about Harbaugh stuff.
Yeah.
Just Harbaugh-isms.
Yeah, I mean, when in doubt, you look to the team that's played the tougher schedule. That's obviously a fact that helps the Eagles, and the Pats have played a pretty thin schedule. You got the fact that Drake May, you get the quarterback with no experience playing the experienced quarterback here, and Justin Herbert, even though a bit fraudulent, Justin Herbert has not shown up in the playoffs. I am going here with the Chargers with the 3.5. I think what really does it for me is this. I do think the Chargers defense, we might get a slightly better performance than we've seen out of them previously. I know the Pats are getting Will Campbell back, but I do think you might be able to get a little going here from the Chargers defense, the pass rush. And on the other side there, I think Herbert, his ability to run. Now it's been I think the fact that they rested their starters is big, especially for this Chargers team. Chargers normally, they were the team that, of course, Mike Williams, if you remember that last playoff game, or the playoff game before that they lost, not the one in Houston, but the one they lost in Jacksonville, they were without Mike Williams because they played him in that meaningless game. Now they did play Keenan Allen. He didn't get hurt, but I think a vet like Keenan Allen could have a good game here against the Pats secondary. And I think, Herbert with his legs is really a tough thing to guard. So at the very least, I think the Chargers are going to be in this game. This feels like a true field goal game to me. I'll happily take the 3.5. And as someone who's talked a ton of smack against Justin Herbert, taking the Chargers in the 3.5, I feel like is a win-win. Either I, and there's a chance this is the ultimate middle for me. If the Chargers lose by 3, I cash my 3.5, and I get to make fun of Justin Herbert even more.
Oh,
but
no. Don't say
Ryan,
that.
I am worried about dome teams going outdoors where it's less than 40 degrees. They're 1-14.
This is a Harbaugh dome team, though.
True. I don't think the Pats. They've blown out some inferior teams. I think the Chargers team are going to give them a fight. So this is a competitive game. I think 3.5 is too much. Give me the Chargers and the 3.5.
Yeah, and just
always take the 3.5, right, Ryan?
No,
Okay.
definitely not. And one thing I would also throw out, I maybe dispute the strength of schedule gives the Eagles the nod over the Niners. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I was looking at EPA or something.
No, I'm just look at the teams the Eagles have played.
Okay, I was looking at an EPA graph that would, if you were choosing the team.
I'm a football guy.
That's fine.
They played a Super Bowl schedule.
I understand that, but you brought it up, so I was going to give out. If you were choosing the teams that had the more difficult schedule, you would be on the Rams per EPA. You would be on the Rams. You would be on the Jags. You would be on the Niners. You would be on the Chargers, and you would be on the
EPA.
Texans. Yeah, I'm just giving you the numbers.
I don't know about your I don't know about your numbers there. Look at the 49ers cupcake of a schedule, Kramer.
Oh, okay. I'm just letting you know what the numbers say. I am on the Eagles. I'm just, if someone wanted to blindly
twice.
If you wanted to blindly play, well, Brissett was lighting it up. If you wanted to blindly play the teams with the better schedule, that's what you would do. All right, so we're both on the Chargers.
Yes.
Shout out to the Herbies out there. All right, Texans Steelers Monday Night Football. This is an interesting game, and like the first game of the weekend, this is one that gave me great pause as I attempted to be objective, as the Steelers are 3-point home dogs in the postseason on Monday Night Football. The total is down to 38, Sean.
Yeah.
This is a preseason total, and you mentioned it. Aaron Rodgers, tremendous amount of playoff experience. One prop I love in this game is Aaron Rodgers to go over 20.5 completions, something he's done in the last 5 games. I do think there's going to be pressure, a lot of dink and dunk. And I'm not going to stop being a sucker for Tomlin with the points. I know we did the same dance last year and it didn't work out for us in the postseason, taking the points with Tomlin against the Ravens, and they wiped that big number out. But we're going back to it. I'm fading the Texans. I'm fading CJ Stroud. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers. DK Metcalf is back. He's primed to have a nice game. And I think the defense and the towels in the crowd make a difference in this one. CJ Stroud with a big interception. That's my prediction.
Well, and the stat is everywhere. If you haven't heard it, 23 straight home playoff wins on Monday night for the Steelers. The one exception was a weird COVID game that they rescheduled onto Monday, but there were no fans. So that
home wins, not playoff wins, right?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Home wins. Not 23. They've been cold in the playoffs. But again, this is Monday night home dog. And that's really what's separating. We went through this on the podcast, Ryan, where we did a little deeper dive. But the Steelers, the reason they've been struggling straight up in ATS is they've been on the road. Now they have a much better quarterback and they're at home, and you get a dome team outdoors. I think this is also going to be a game. I'll happily take the Steelers and the points. I think they are live on the money line. And this is, I think experience does matter. Super Bowl winning quarterbacks are 64, 25, and 2 ATS as dogs in the playoffs. So this is, you get Aaron Rodgers as a dog, you get DK Metcalf back. I think you get a better effort than you've seen in some previous instances out of this defense. The momentum, the crowd is really going to be juiced here. And this home crowd on a Monday night, I think is with really playing with house money against a dome team outdoors in the cold. This is a smash spot. I don't think as much as I kind of like the Texans defense, they kind of cooled off towards the end of the season. So I think this is a competitive game. I think you can't give the Steelers team 3 points right now.
I think they're still good. I think if Aaron Rodgers doesn't do what I said he was going to do, the pass rush is going to get there and it's going to be a problem. But I think the passing game has, since Aaron brought all his buddies in, it's a wide receiver room with Ben Skowronek, Scotty Miller, Adam Thielen, MVS, who's who of guys who can just get open quickly. So, give me the points. Give me the money line. It's the playoffs. I'm betting every game.
Yeah, and Boswell already got his backbreaking miss out of the way.
Oh, my goodness.
And Aaron Rodgers is, as much as you might find Aaron Rodgers annoying, his enigmatic press appearances, whatever.
Married to the game, Sean.
He is. We'll never meet his wife, but he is married to the game. He has been playing some of his best football here in the last couple of years, and he's an older guy coming off an Achilles injury. It's the year after the year. And he's playing great football right now. I think this team could go on a little run here, as crazy as it sounds. Give me the Steelers +3, and they're live on the money line as well. When we close things out, paper ticket parlays coming up next. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Second, Money Green, with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Got the tape measure out. Still not sponsored. Still not sponsored. Hey,
yeah, we gotta get Bill on that. Ace Hardware's a knocking.
This is like VR. You could pretend like you're touching the tip of the tape measure right here. It's coming into your living room.
You can dock. Maybe you can dock your tape measure to our tape measure.
Do tape measures dock? I never worked construction. I'm not really sure.
Feel free to mail in your tape measures. We will autograph them, mail them back.
Oh, please. I would love to sign a tape measure.
Yes, that is the dream. Any diehard SGP guys, bring out the tape measure, do circa, happily get a
signing something is weird in general. So yeah, make the object weird too.
Okay, Kramer, here we go. I got a little tripod over here, clocking in at a little short here. Blame the winter weather. It is chilly here in Vegas.
Cold.
5 7/8 inches. There's
5 7/8.
Yeah.
Everything all right?
Yeah, a little blood flow issue, but
they say it's the check engine light for your body.
Your dipstick.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm playing TDs. We gave out some TDs in the TD segment. Go back and check that on the podcast. VSiN Best Bets. First touchdown. I like this guy. Some say offensive rookie of the year. I'm still holding out hope for Tyler Shuck, but give me Tet McMillan to get in the end zone against this Rams defense, +185. Then I've been all over Dallas Goedert. I think he gets in, doing 1 touchdown per day. Dallas Goedert, +180. What are you laughing at?
I like the 1 touch. It's like a diet.
Yeah.
1 TD per day.
1 TD per day.
Dick Olson once told us a story about how he pitched that to his wife.
Yes.
She didn't love it.
Oh, really? Yeah. Richard Olson said, our buddy Rich Olson.
It's a healthy diet. He's a healthy guy.
So, Tet McMillan to get in the end zone, +185. Dallas Goedert, +180 on Sunday. And then Monday, he's got his boy back. DK Metcalf is hungry for that end zone, +230.
Really?
Yeah. You don't think he gets in?
No, that's a nice price. What are we pricing that like?
Well, I think the total is really low, right? So the total
Stingley, I guess.
The total is 38. So they're not projecting a ton of touchdowns. So inherently that creates some, and they're 3-point dogs. So just start right there.
I'm going to the window after the show.
Again, he feels like a Devontae Adams type where Aaron Rodgers loves them. He's been getting by with these dregs of receivers. He's going to want that stallion of DK Metcalf, +230, +180, +185. Parlay it all together. $100 pays $2,500, $33.40. Nice juicy tip there for the ticket writers behind the counter.
It's very modest.
Call it really?
Yeah, it's very modest.
Okay. What do you got, Kramer?
Give me that.
Saw someone watching shaking their head as I was whipping the tape measure around.
Well, let's see. We're a little shorter, so we'll say 6 7/8.
Okay.
And this is a real smorgasbord of ideas.
All right.
And like I said, this might be one of the greatest parlays I've ever put together.
Oh wow.
5 legs.
Centipede.
Panthers +10.5. Got to start with the gross.
Okay.
Packers minus 1.5. So this is all normal, right? Regular Saturday. Let's just get through to Sunday. Jags minus 4.5.
Oh, you're going
plus
alt.
180.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown plus 125. And the Chargers plus 3.5. Nothing on Monday. This one will cap out on Sunday night. 5 legs. Panthers plus 10.5. Packers minus 1.5. Jags minus 4.5. Alt line plus 180. Anytime touchdown for Jalen Hurts plus 125. And Chargers plus 3.5. $200 will pay $8,385.50.
Might have to hop on that.
I swapped out. What I did was love the Eagles on the alt, but the number going in the direction that I thought it might and getting all the way up to 6, I said, well, at this point, do I like Eagles minus 6 at minus 110 or Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown plus 125 better? You like the anytime touchdown better, right?
I like both, Ryan, but this
is the juiciest parlay I've put out so far. This one, and I even took the time to flatten it. The paper's been extra curvy down at the book, so things are good.
Yeah, they have medical treatments, Ryan, if your ticket is too curvy.
Well, and there was we have a little time I can talk about. There was a mishap where the normal where I normally keep my 7 to 8 inches.
Oh yeah,
was left back in Los Angeles.
You forgot your entire ticket sack.
It's a lot of ins, a lot of outs. Didn't get to cash anything from last week. Have 0 of my normal cash stash and chips, but we made do. Shout out to the circuit for helping me out a little bit. And
this is not paper ticket yet.
Oh, what's this?
I was going down during the game. There was a bit of I didn't want to hog the ticket writer's time. These are fun to put in after, but
this is first touchdown?
Saturday first touchdown parlays. I'll play these all individual, but I'm going to be parlaying them. So 3 first touchdowns from the Saturday afternoon game, and then 3 first touchdowns from the Saturday late games. And then obviously all 3 of these parlayed. So my three first touchdowns from the early games, give me, as I mentioned before, Ted McMillan. He's 11-1 here. Give me Tom Tremble. He's 30-1 here. And then give me, of course, I got to go with my boy Mitch Evans, 55-1 here. In the late game, going to go with Romeo Dobbs, 13-1. Josh Wiley, 67-1. And then Jordan Love, 29-1. So all these payouts are going to be pretty insane if I can get the parlay home. Even if I hit these singles, it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, so I also have my Saturday first touchdown cards for those who care.
Oh, let's reveal them.
A little bit different than normal because we're not doing the normal 4 quarter units, and you'll hear why. In game 1, half unit on Kyren Williams, 6-1. This is the only way that I'll drop below 8-1 is go bigger than a quarter unit. So 6-1 and a half unit for Kyren Williams. Bryce Young, quarter unit, 32-1. Tommy Tremble, quarter unit, 30-1. Same thing for the late game. Josh Jacobs, half unit, 6-1. Cole Kmet, quarter unit, 28-1. And Caleb Williams, which is an auto play, 19-1, another quarter unit. I'm also going to put these all ways. So 9 total parlays where I've gone a heavier stake. I've 5x the stake on the Kyren Josh Jacobs chalkier version. So all of those pay out about 200-1. All the other ones pay in the range of 200-1. And then they've opened up Sunday, which means now do we go back? Do I do a 3-game first touchdown parlay? Is that diabolical?
I think 3-game is pushing it a little bit.
I was thinking I do the chalk version where I do a version with Kyren, Josh Jacobs, and Jalen Hurts.
Kyren, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts.
And then maybe do ETN in there. So maybe all 4 games, 4 in a row. Imagine hitting 4 straight first touchdowns.
Oh, that would be insane. But Kramer, you've gotten close.
But it's not going to be 4 straight chalk. But it is the playoffs. And I went back and reviewed. Chalk hits a lot more in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, and I got my Tet, I got my Dobbs, which are relatively chalky, and then I got some tight ends and 1 quarterback in there.
Oh, I lied. So the versions with the running backs, with the versions with the chalk are about 200-1. The versions like Caleb and Bryce, that's going to pay you about 650-1. So.
Oh, let's go.
Oh man, I feel this. Oh man, Bryce Young and Cole Kmet, 9,500 on a $10 bet. Come on. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I mean that is the dream to hit a first touchdown parlay. And Kramer, you're on a heater with some of these prime time first touchdowns. Why not? Why not?
Why not me? Why not me?
2 in a row. Well, and on Saturday, last Saturday for the prime time, we split it. If we would have combined ours,
I know
we would have hit.
It's just too many permutations. You get into trouble. It's almost like doing a superfecta. You got to do $1 at a time. I'm going to do this pick 5, 275 different ways. Bam.
Bink.
It's like when you accidentally spin $1,000 at a slot machine because you thought you.
Well, that did happen at Slotapalooza where we did me doing a live slot spin. They had updated the basically how you enter in the multipliers, and I didn't realize that I had like $100 spin or something.
I did that with my shout out to the Circa. I get free play every month.
Yeah.
I go up to the high limit area. I always play this one machine, a woman sitting in the chair. So I go to another machine. I'm like, this looks good. And my normal spin would be like $9 or $10. I somehow managed to do $190. One spin, poof, gone. Always feel like such a dummy. Yeah. Such a dummy.
But hey, hashtag DGens only.
You live and you learn.
Kramer,
Yes.
Are you going to be putting any late action in the at the window?
I'm going to be. I think an anytime touchdown parlay will be added.
Okay. One more for the road.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I could see myself. Who's a guy you don't have on the card you're going to add late, you think?
That's a good question. Check
Good
back
tease.
with me after the break.
Good tease. When we close things out, our best bet, Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN.
This is the Sports Gambling Podcast live on VSIN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Gambling Podcast live here on VSIN. Sean Sack, the Money Green, with my partner in picks, Ryan Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
I was just looking at my list and realizing it feels short. So maybe I do need to go back to the window and add some stuff.
All right. Best bets. Kramer, I'll go first.
Oh, okay.
They're all paper tickets. Give out a lot, but here are some of the favorite. Give me the Green Bay Packers on the money line. Call it 125 here at the Circa. Give me the Carolina Panthers plus 10.5 points. Historic home dog. You know I'm always going to be all over that. Give me Dallas Goedert to get in the end zone. Call it a plus 180. I think Circa has it. And then Pittsburgh Steelers catching 3. I also do like the money line, but we'll call it 3 here. Los Angeles Chargers, 3.5 on the road. And the Jacksonville Jaguars as a pick. That's my card. Kramer, what do you got?
Maybe I should have. I'm thinking about two things. Like I didn't pull the trigger on a Packers paper ticket, and you taking the money. Maybe I should do that, but every time I go back to the window with the sides, it doesn't work out. So maybe I shouldn't do that. Jacksonville, for me, in pocket at pick. One thing I do have to go back to the window. I lied earlier when I said I didn't have to grab any. I do have to grab the alt number because I was having a little conversation down there, and it was crowded earlier, but I wanted to see if there's any higher alts being offered past the 4.5 plus 180. Give me the Eagles minus the 6. Again, I put Hurts in the parlay plus 125. I like Hurts anytime touchdown plus 125. That's in pocket as well, but I am going to lay the 6 with the Eagles. I do think they take care of business here. And then the Chargers plus the 3.5. Chargers also playing the money line, a little half and half there. Reminder on the pleaser, Sean. Rams minus 11.5, Jags minus 6.5, Eagles minus 11. Oh, I'm sorry, Rams minus 17.5.
CJ is crazy.
Is he?
But that's how he hit these. Is on the.
You can't like all the legs.
That's true.
Jags minus 6.5, Eagles minus 11.5. I might have to do a second pleaser with the Chargers, Jags, and Eagles. Anytime touchdowns I like and are in pocket. Kyron Williams minus 130, Josh Jacobs minus 115, Quentin Johnston plus 230 or plus 250. Little typo in the sheet there, and 2 touchdowns plus 2,000. Jalen Hurts anytime plus 125. This is like a double anytime bet for me. Jalen Hurts in the playoffs has been good to me. Tim Patrick 11-1 on the anytime, and then as I mentioned earlier, 100-1 in the first touchdown market. Brock Purdy plus 650 on the anytime. Again, I like both quarterbacks. I'll probably end up doing a same game on Hurts and Purdy to score together. Here's the leaders that I like. Josh Allen, most pass yards, plus 960. Justin Herbert, plus 1,400 to have the most passing yards in the wild card round. Kyron Williams, most rushing yards, plus 975. Travis Etienne, 12-1. And then most receiving yards, Quentin Johnston in a smash matchup, plus 6,500. That's all I got. And I'm probably going to be on Indiana. I can't bet on Miami. I'm never going to bet on Miami. When I was in school, that was the main rival, them in West Virginia. So we didn't even know what Oahu was.
Now, are you gonna try and take the 7? Are you worried about laying the 7.5? The thing that scares me off of Indiana is, man, just that Miami defense, that defensive line, and if they get a couple of those the balls to bounce their way.
Yeah, but Colby made a great point earlier when he said
Fernando Mendoza coming home to Miami, and
that's a great point too. Yeah. But the point of it felt like Miami should have been taking care of business by a lot more, and that's what it feels like to take Cristobal in a big game, and so that would be the counter argument. I also a couple of the scout NFL draft types that I follow didn't have the best feedback for some of the components of the defense against Ole Miss. And so I'll be curious to see how this Indiana team with a plan ends up doing against Miami, because that's the area where it's so hard to think Miami's going to have a good plan compared to Indiana.
Well, the physicality I thought Miami brought to that game.
Yeah, but who is Indiana not punked? Like, who have they not punked yet?
But I'm saying they haven't seen like this Miami team that's been playing in the playoffs, that went on the road at College Station. Very physical game. The game against Ole Miss, very physical game. They punked Ohio State, a very physical team. Normally, Ohio State. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Indiana just beat up Oregon, who is a fairly physical team. That run the ball down your face.
I don't know. That's why. I mean, in part, why I was all over Indiana this time was I thought Texas Tech really beat them up, but just they could not get anything going offensively.
Also, Mendoza versus Beck. I know Beck has been playing better.
Yeah.
I'm still taking Mendoza in that matchup 10 times out of 10.
Yeah. I'm just making a case for and devil's advocate, truly, the Miami Devils of just this, this perfect story, Cignetti, Midwest, just all shucks Fernando Mendoza, and then Carson Beck and the bad boy Miami Canes, the U throwing up.
This is the country boys versus the convicts, right?
Maybe I'm making a case the bad boys sneak one out here. I don't know if I got to think on it more, because the Miami defense being able to make this a game.
Cignetti after the first quarter, when he was clearly
he's so locked in,
fired up over. So safety gets injured. One of his 11 defenders gets injured.
Yeah,
the guy replacing him clearly not lining up correctly. He takes most of the quarter interview to point out how disgusting it was, how they were playing defense in the one drive where Oregon looked good. And he then goes, and the offense had a nice comeback there. So, and then he just walked away. And then from that point on, the defense locked down. So again, Cristobal versus, and Coach O is going to be on the sideline for Miami. It's not just Michael Irvin.
So wait, is that's a point for Miami if you're asking me?
Yeah, Coach O, I believe, has 2 sons that coach on the staff. I think the take I'll be crafting is Miami being at home hosting this is not good, and it's not going to give them the fan advantage, which would normally be the positive. And so, yeah, I think, well, you know what? Let's get some alts going.
Really?
I can't bet on Miami. And I do think there's a chance Indiana does the same thing we just saw. They don't take their foot off the gas. It's a semifinal game. You're playing someone next week. You're up 30, and you're still putting out Mendoza to smash. I think they're on a mission. I think Cignetti. This is how Cignetti recruits, and I think he's one of those guys. You want me not to run the score up on you? Stop me.
Yeah, they just look so incredibly locked in. And I mean, going back to when they beat Oregon in Oregon, it was just game on for Indiana and the Hoosiers there. Kramer, your Jags, big game, one of the biggest in franchise history. Can I get a score prediction? Jags hosting the Bills.
34-21, Jags.
34-21. Duval. Well, you had it.
Actually, hold on. 34-20.
Okay. Because I do have Dawson Knox 2 touchdowns and some crazy parlays.
Yeah, the minus 13.5 alt is also something I've already. So
I had to adjust your score
slightly.
Prediction.
You know what? 41-21.
41-21.
41-21.
You're not worried that do the Jags call off the dogs at some point, Ryan?
Eventually, I do think Tootin to score the last touchdown. Now that you bring it up, that's fun. Yeah, that's fun.
Hey. Coming up next, stay tuned here to VSIN. Of course, tomorrow, start your day with the VSIN Weekend Morning Live with our good buddy Tim Murray, kicking off at 9 a.m. East. I'm sure Tim is getting you locked in, ready to go for all things national football. I'm sure he's going to be reacting to the college football semifinals here and getting you ready for kickoff on Saturday. Good second screen experience. Live bet Saturday at noon East, and then ready, set, bet at 6 o'clock. Bunch of in-game wagering opportunities. The guys reacting live. And, of course, keep it locked here on VSIN. Of course, big thanks to everyone tuning in. Always appreciate it. Big thanks to our guest, Colby Dant. Follow him. College football experience, college basketball experience. Again, those guys crush it. College basketball. Good time to get in now. They do a daily college basketball show. A lot of fun there in the chat. Stream it live over on YouTube. Of course, check out our show over on YouTube, Sports Gambling Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're going to be doing 2 live pregame shows this weekend, 1 o'clock West Coast time on Saturday, and then 9 a.m. on Sunday. Kramer will be releasing his live first touchdown card there exclusively, youtube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. Big thanks to producer Johnny. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Pre-game shows in 13 hours, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.